welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. How you doing, Ben? All right?
I'm doing all right, mate. How the devil are you? A little bit toasty, a little bit toasty warm, isn't it?
It is a little bit warm. However, I am pretty fresh and clean. So just got back from a run, had a shower, hence the sort of wet look
Oh, I like
hair I've
it.
got at the minute. It's
It's a
not a
good.
new, not horrible new gel from the 90s that will look this wet for 8 to 10 years. Just actually wet hair.
You look wet. You look like you've been dunked by a psychopath. I will say.
Yeah,
Which happens
thankfully,
to the best of us.
sharks aren't suited to this climate,
Glad to hear
so
it.
it was quite safe.
We're joined by a very special returning guest. It is Charley Errington, also known as my wife.
My wife.
You can't say those two words without anybody immediately saying that, can you?
Repeating, my wife. Yeah.
Charley Errington, welcome back to the show for the first time since Opera, which was last year at some point, not long after we got married. Look at that for a memory.
Look at
It's like a steel trap.
Exactly. What are you? What are you? Well, you're a horror fan, a movie and book reviewer, and an all-round spooky gal. Is it spooky in here or summit? And what did you call yourself before, spooky?
Spooky egg.
A spooky egg. And the reason I agree with that is because eggs, by their very nature, have had something living in them at one point, so could potentially be haunted.
It could, and depending on how you feel about corporate synergy and branding, you can get a spooky cream egg these days, can't you?
Oh, yeah, you can't. Is it green?
A scream egg, yeah, with green, the spookiest color
yeah,
inside.
scream egg.
Green is
Scream
pretty
egg, yeah.
spooky. What are you supposed to believe you're eating now?
Like a moldy egg?
Ectoplasm,
That's good. Ectoplasm. Yum. Delicious. One of your five a day.
delicious
Ectoplasms.
fondant ectoplasm.
Yeah. I can't get on board with a cream egg. It just feels like I'm eating a load of old muck.
I love a cream egg.
You know what I mean? Sweet. Well, you would.
Thank goodness for you, Charlie. Last time we got onto the cream egg subject, I was surrounded by people that didn't enjoy a cream egg.
Oh,
Ben.
wait. Was that
Lots of
Screams by
other
the Sea?
naysayers.
Was that Screams by the Sea when
Felt like
the
it was a
cream
field
egg?
full of bloody horses, all the people saying nay. Yeah, it was Screams by the Sea.
We once, me and Charlie once took my nephew for a little trip somewhere, and he asked for a cream egg, and he ate a whole like a snake.
He did.
Yeah.
Even the foil,
nibbled
spat it
the
out
very
like the
top.
shell.
Yeah, nibbled the top, didn't he? And then he just kind of went. And, just
Yeah.
put the whole bit-
I
and
would've-
he was only like 4, so it was like.
And we were a bit worried because we were like, oh no, what if he just tries to swallow it in one go? That might be the end for him. He might be.
It literally turns into the shape of an egg.
Yeah.
You have to take him back to your. I'm sorry, your kid's been hunted, mate. Sorry.
The egg would have had the point of view of John Voight going into the anaconda's body.
You'd have to Heimlink it out of him. We'll come out all slimy and then wink at Jennifer Lopez.
Oh no. Oh dear. Every time I get to remember his name, every time I always say Mateo. It's not that, is it?
Mateo's the guy he always talks to.
It's like Paul.
It's
Oh,
Paul.
I wish I could. Yeah, it's Paul, isn't it? He's
Paul,
Paraguayan.
yeah,
Paul the Paraguayan.
Paragon Paul.
Well, welcome back to the show, Charlie. You're doing a lot of horror, spooky things all the time now. You've doubled down, doubled down, or just tripled down, singled down on
Yeah.
horror content creation on
I have.
Instagram and Threads, getting a lot of interaction on there. What have you been up to?
So yeah, I'm trying to do as many kind of reviews as I can of like new films and releases and stuff. Do kind of time capsule ones where I like just have a little post about a film that came out on this day in this year, and have a little ramble about that. And as you already said, books, and then just general nonsense, really. General horror-related nonsense.
Fred seems pretty good for like interaction and stuff on that platform, doesn't it? But maybe a little bit better than other platforms at the moment.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it's more of a conversation starter. I think with Instagram, it's more to do with the kind of like likes and shares and stuff like that. But I feel like Threads is somewhere where you can ask a genuine question and you get quite a lot of input from people. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think
That's
it's
good.
more of a conversational thing, which is kind of more what I'm more into, like more into, that's kind of why I want to network with people, because I want to talk to people about something I enjoy as opposed to just post about it.
You don't want to say, "Here, look at this picture," and they go, "That's nice."
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
like it.
I don't yet.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
So
different one.
yeah.
Yeah, social media can be a bit like that, can it? You're a regular Threads user now, aren't you, Andy?
Yeah, I use it a little bit, but I will own the fact I'm very inconsistent. I'll look at it a couple of days at a time, and then I'll see too much of the horrors of the world and not go on it
See,
for like
what you're
weeks.
doing is looking at it for a couple of days in a time. I reckon just a couple of minutes, then take a break.
Yeah, that's it. You get worn out, don't you? Although I
You
am,
get
I
one out
have,
looking at it for a couple of days at a
I have
time.
began a large project on Threads. I'm catching up with myself by doing a little post about each of the episode of everyone's favorite late 80s weekly Monster of the
Hang
Week
on a
show,
minute.
Friday the 13th. I've done about 7 of them so far. I'm
Oh,
going to
nice.
catch up to where I am, and then I'm going to
You
sync
never
up with myself and do one a week.
you never mentioned it on the show before. What's this?
Oh, this new show? Well, I'll tell you about the latest episode in a little bit, everyone. Don't
Okay.
worry, he's only joking,
I look
radio
forward to it.
listeners.
I'm only joking.
You'll not be stuck with your fix.
I'm
Some
only
of the
being a
great
silly
episode
sausage,
this
aren't
week.
I? Okay. So we've been starting off episodes when we have a guest on asking people about their horror, Mount Rushmore, Mount Rush horror. Charlie came prepared because you already posted about this on your social media. I've seen because I bloody
Yeah.
helped you out with the
Almost
post,
as
did
if you're
I?
married to the person who did the art
I know.
template.
That's what
We
it's
made a
like,
little
yeah.
template, made one for me, so that was very helpful.
Yeah. So horror Mount Rushmore, or Mount Rush horror. Four of your horror icons who you would carve into the stone of said rock. You can do it by hand if you're hardworking like that.
You're an
Don't-
artisan.
yeah.
How else would you do it?
Uh, I don't know.
Laser.
Laser. Yeah, laser is a good idea. Yeah.
Space
Maybe
pen.
Laser.
like 3D print it. 3D
Yeah.
printed rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3D printed would be good. Who are you for, and I guess why?
Why? So yeah, my four are my first one, I'll start with the oldest. The first one is Vincent Price. And that's mainly because just growing up, my mum and my dad both used to like watching a lot of kind of like black and white films. Um, and it was kind of probably my first kind of introduction to kind of things that were a bit spooky. Like now you watch them and you might be a bit like, eh. Um, but they've got a little place in my heart because they just kind of remind me of like seeing things that were a bit scary and going, oh, I quite like that. It's more the kind of like macabre and spooky side as opposed to like full on horror, isn't it? So it's just a kind of like toe dip as a kid into something that's not so mainstream and not so probably child friendly like everybody else was watching.
Yeah, spooky.
Um,
What's your prevailing memory of a Vincent Price film? Is there a particular one, or just his creepy old face and his voice on Thriller?
just everything, yeah. So like I remember watching, I think the first one I watched probably was The Mask of the Red Death, which is a bit um
Put you in your
so
high chair. Yeah, Charlie,
yeah,
watch
there you
this.
go, you
Baby
enjoy
Charlie,
this.
they'd called you at the time.
And House on Haunted Hill obviously is a bit of
Yeah.
a classic. But yeah, and then I remember I went through the stage again of being in like my teenage years and remembering. I think the reason I remembered, and this is really niche, but in Scooby-Doo, in the later Scooby-Doos, like in the early 2000s,
Mhm.
there was a character called Vincent Van Ghoul who was
Okay.
made, it was basically like a homage, I guess, to Vincent Price. He even had like a voice actor that sounded like him, and he was like that. So I think I remember being like, oh my God, yeah, Vincent Price, and then remembering who it was, and then went for a stage of like collecting as many DVDs as I could of his and rewatching them all and kind of being reacquainted, I guess.
Yeah, we've only done, as far as I'm aware, Ben, you can correct me, one Vincent Price
You've
movie.
done Witchfinder General.
Witchfinder
That's the
General, yeah.
Witchfinder General, Matthew
Yeah.
Hopkins himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we need to get around to doing some more eventually
Like the
then,
pit,
don't we?
you should have Pit and the Pendulum, maybe that's quite a good one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Who's next? So who's next is Elvira. I couldn't not put Elvira on there. A lot of people would argue about her being a horror icon, I guess. But
No,
she
she obviously, yeah, she definitely is.
yeah, she's like, I know she's not really been in horror herself, but she used to obviously movie macabre and stuff, like a whole program dedicated to her watching and chatting nonsense basically whilst watching bad horror movies. So So yeah, she's got to be on there. I've got a tattoo of her. Our minister at our wedding was an Elvira impersonator, so she kind of had to be there.
We
And for the
went
same,
to Not Scary Farm as well, didn't we, to see the
yeah, I
Elvira
went to
exhibition?
the exhibition thing, and again, that's quite a similar thing, like early teenage years, and they were showing repeats of Movie Macabre on the Horror Channel, I think, and I just kind of got into that and watching that and reacquainting myself with Elvira as well. So they're quite ones that I think have kind of been as I've grown up, I
Yeah,
guess.
good
They've been on my
choices.
radar. Yeah. And my third choice would be Ghostface, because I think watching Scream, probably when I was about like probably too young, 12, 13, and really realizing that I really loved slashers and that kind of film, and then going out my way to watch more of them. So I think if you're born in like the 80s, or if you were like, yeah, you might have Michael Myers or someone like that as your favorite growing up and stuff like that. So I think like then you'd have Freddy Krueger, and I think like Ghostface is just kind of at my generational kind of slasher king, I guess.
That's nice. I think I asked you this when you posted your thread. If you were such a good sculptor that you could
Mm.
go inside the mask and sculpt the actor
Oh God.
inside the Scream mask, who are
Yeah.
you putting in your mountain ghost face? Which one is it going to be there inside?
Yeah, because we did discuss this, because you like out of the ones who have been,
Yeah. Are the ones who
or
have been?
or the ones who have been, I think I said Nancy Loomis, didn't I? Is that her name? Nancy? Mrs. Loomis? Billy's
Mm,
mum? I
Yeah,
Mrs.
think I
Billy's
Loomis,
said
mom.
yeah.
her. Yeah, just because I just unhinged, fully
Mm.
unhinged, and also has a really good reason for doing what she did. You could argue out of all of them, she's probably got the
Yeah.
most obvious reason because of the death of her son. So, um,
Yeah, because he didn't do anything. He was an innocent party in it all.
he's an innocent boy.
This has
But
come up a lot recently where it's like, how dare you stop me from doing murders? I'm coming back to have revenge on you.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. How dare you? That's out of order. I was just out here doing my own murders. Now I'm gonna own you forever. That's fair.
but I think though, if I could choose anyone I wanted to be Ghostface from the franchise, that would be Cotton. I think Cotton would have deserved his moment to
Yeah. He should. Wait,
as,
is he
as the
dead? He got
reveal.
killed in Scream 3, right?
And he got done in Scream 3.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. He'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Accusing me of being Ghostface all this time. I am a Ghostface now. Have that. I'm sick of it.
Oh, and then
A
my fourth
Ghostface
one.
out of. Sorry, go on.
No.
There you
As
go.
I said, my fourth one is like I thought I'd go for a modern take. So it's Florence Pugh's character, Danny in Midsummer. Um I just
Nice.
really I just really fucking love Midsummer. I just really, really love it. And I think
Swearing.
that whole look of hers and everything, because like, again, like performance wise, amazing. Film, loved it. I could put someone like Toni Collette in it when in Hereditary, but I think because of like the flower crown and that kind of outfit and everything, it's just more of an
Oh,
iconic.
could you imagine having to sculpt the flowers onto the bloody
Yeah,
rock?
yeah. You could maybe like make it so a tree grows around it that grows flowers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, get some lovely like climbing roses up there. What a
Yeah,
nice time.
wisteria or something. Yeah.
Lovely. That would be
Very
that is you've really thought about the construction of this. This is very good.
So yeah, they are my choices. So they kind of cover a bit of a varied life and timeline of horror people for me.
Sounds good. Um, okay. So that is Charlie's Mount Rush horror. I guess we will move straight on to horror news for the week. A couple of bits. Obviously, feel free to jump in with anything else you've seen because
Will
it was a
do.
bit thin on the ground this week. Konami reveals Silent Hill remake is currently in development from the Bloober team. That's right, the original Silent Hill game, Silent Hill 1, if you want to be pedantic, is in development from Bloober team after the success of Silent Hill 2, the remake. This was probably the next logical step to take, wasn't it? Because I feel like they could have gone
I'd
for
argue it's the
free.
first logical step to take.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was the first logical step, but I feel like going on to free would kind of leave everyone be like, well, what about one? And I guess it's, at least it's confirmed. Surely they'll make free as well. So,
Three follows from one though, right?
yeah, 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 it does. It does. Um, I guess it's a more of a, I mean, a very different game, obviously, where Silent Hill 2 is all about the psychological horrors. Silent Hill 1 is a little bit more about like physical horrors, but still some psychological things going on, some cult stuff, and depending on what ending you get, aliens,
Might have been a dog.
might have been a
No,
dog.
he's two, isn't he?
That's number two,
Aliens
yeah.
another one.
But yeah, it did kind of when I was playing Silent Hill 2, I was like, I would like to play the first game like this because that was the game that got me into the franchise. I think I've mentioned it before. I think I got a demo disc with my copy of Metal Gear Solid originally, um, which was very exciting at the time. And running around in the fog, shouting at whatever, what's her name? Rachel. Rachel. No, I feel like that's
That's
what Batman
Batman.
says. That's Batman. Um, what's the one from Heavy Rain? Jason.
Jason. Press X to Jason.
Jason. Cheryl. Cheryl. That's her name.
Cheryl.
Cheryl. Just as soon as you get close to her, she disappears off into the fog. How rude. Yeah, I'd love to experience that game like this.
I'm
So,
looking forward to it coming out because, if I'm honest, I mean, the real answer is not the bloody time, not the hours and the bloody day, but I've really wanted to get into the later Silent Hill games. But because Silent Hill 1 has been the one which isn't really available, there wasn't an HD remake in the 360 and PS3 era.
yeah,
It has been the least accessible on modern hardware for a long time. So I've kind of been like, nah, I can't get back in on the others. So now this could kickstart like a run through of the whole lot.
yeah.
Might
Um,
even be a cheeky double pack available at the time. Don't mind
oh
if I do.
yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, I loved Silent Hill 2. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. A game, the second game, Silent Hill 2 was always a game that like I liked, but it was never like, oh, this is definitely one of my favorite games ever. But after playing that remake, it just gave me a whole new love of it. So, and then of course we get Silent Hill F as well. So all the Silent Hill you can eat, including the Return to Silent Hill movie, which has now got a release date. It's the 26th of January. I literally had it
Is
right now.
it?
23rd of January 2026. Return to Silent Hill will release, and of course it is a essentially a film of Silent Hill 2, the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing what
Mila
they do with that.
Jovovich as James and that.
Mila Jovovich as James. Yeah, we got Mila Jovovich in here as James. Mila Jovovich as the old pyramid thing, Pyramid
That's
Head.
Pyramid Head, yeah, and
Gonna be
she's
great.
all the goodies, all the baddies, the whole
Yeah.
lot.
That release date was confirmed, and also the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake has got a confirmed release date of December the 12th as well. So we're getting that this year. Because of how late it had been announced, I thought maybe it would be a 2026 Christmas one, but no, it's coming this year. Can you believe it? I told you who's in that as well, haven't I, Andy?
Remind me.
It's old fella from Halloween Ends. The not
Oh,
the not
Michael
um
Myers Jr.
not Michael Myers Jr. I want to say Jason Myers then. The not Michael Myers Jr. guy. Who's also in not Long Legs. The monkey.
The monkey.
Apologies, my
Yeah,
brain is
I'm up
flying
for
all
that.
over the place at the moment. But yeah, we'll be seated for this, won't we? We like a bit of
Yeah,
Silent Hill. Get yourself into Silent Hill.
get
Um,
yourself in it. Yeah, good times.
last piece of news: there's a documentary coming out about another documentary coming out about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's called Chain Reactions. 103-minute documentary is being screened at film festivals coming up, including the Perth International Film Festival. Don't think that's near you, though, Andy. Sorry.
Not that one.
And the New Zealand International Film Festival, and it'll be released later this year from Dark Sky Films. It takes a unique approach, enlisting 5 celebrated artists to explore the impact of Toby Hooper's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I guess
All
everyone's just
set to,
gonna
of course, the disco anthem Chain Reaction, I imagine.
go, oh, I hope so.
So,
What? Yeah, and a nice double bill will be that, and then the movie Chain Reaction with Keanu
Keanu
Reeves.
Reeves?
Yeah, I was like, Keanu Reeves, maybe.
Don't get mixed up with Hard Rain. That's
Don't
someone
get
else.
mixed up with Hard Rain. Exactly. Very, very confusing. But yeah, there was the other Texas Chainsaw Massacre documentary that came out last year. I think it's called the Legend of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But Phil Escott was involved, who we had on the show to discuss Blair Witch, if you remember.
Nice.
Um,
Remember Phil?
so yeah, check that
Well,
out.
I mean, I'm always up for a documentary, Ben, to a lesser extent than you, but that's still quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a documentary on anything, I would say. What's that? A man who collects rubber ducks? Yes.
Get me
let's watch
on
it.
a story of his life.
Let me have a story of his life. I mean, now I've put it out there. That sounds pretty interesting, right?
It does.
Rubber Duck Man.
Rubber Duckman.
Rubber Duck Collecting Man. A documentary on Andy Conduit Turner, man of many talents, man of
And duck collecting.
duck collecting. Are you good at
This
duck
is news to me.
collecting?
I'm going to have to bloody start.
Yeah.
Documentary
You're gonna have
crew's
to
coming
start.
tomorrow.
guess what
Coming tomorrow. How many ducks have you got?
Oh,
I've got
hundreds.
4.
They're in storage, though. I'm so protective of them.
I got
Can't see 'em.
hundreds. They're on the way from Amazon now. Wait.
They're all really small. You can fit
Teeny
1,000 of them
tiny.
on a grain of rice.
I'm always freaked out by stuff like that when someone goes, "I've painted the Mona Lisa on a grain of rice or on a tiny little microscopic."
Wouldn't you be tempted to say, "Give us a look," and then like go,
Just blowing it away.
put it in your
Yeah.
pot with your dinner.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, that's all I got for horror news, unless anyone else has got anything. What else
Got
has
one
got
more
going down
cheeky
this
little
week?
piece, just an update, an updated news story. We mentioned a little while ago that Deathgasm 1.5, a graphic novel and a
Oh,
video game,
yes, I've
was
seen
going to
this.
be available to back soon. That is live on Kickstarter right now. I
Oh,
backed
yes, we got a
myself. I
trailer as
got
well,
myself
right?
a little steal. Yes,
Trailer
we've
for
got
the
a
game?
trailer. Trailer of the
Yep.
game looks really good. I got myself a little steal. I went personally. I went for the
Stole it.
digital package to get a uh, digital copy of the of the comic, sort of in between Qual, and digital copy of the game on Steam. Very reasonable.
Oh, delightful. Delightful indeed. And I guess we should also mention that you recently did a bonus episode with Chad Michael Ward discussing Fairy Dust, which is funded on Indiegogo now. You mentioned it last week that that was coming up. It's live on the
Don't know.
feed now for you to go and listen to. And the link is in the show notes for the Indiegogo campaign as well. So go and back that if it sounds like your cup of tea
Yeah,
or
if you haven't
coffee.
listened to it yet, you can see the exact moment in the video where I decide that Chad and I can be good friends. It's somewhere in between him mentioning his horror roots being Godzilla movies,
Nice.
and then later when he talks about getting into creation and really being into horror comics, we have a good discussion about the Brood and X-Men.
Oh, nice.
Even before we've gotten to the really, really exciting topic of the of fairy dust that he's creating, which
If
the more we talked about, I was so much more excited by what he's in because
Yeah,
of how involved he has been in the creation of this. You haven't
yeah.
listened yet? Go back, have a little
Go
listen.
check it out. If he would have said he's also a fan of Friday the 13th, the TV show, that would have been it, wouldn't it? You would have been.
That would have been it. I'd have invited him to my birthday. Bearing in mind, I'm not having a party. I'm going to be on holiday. Like,
Come to
listen,
my
come,
house. Come on holiday with me on
come
my
on
birthday,
holiday.
please.
We'll have a lovely time. We'll sit and watch some DVDs. Maybe Terror of Mechagodzilla is what I'd choose.
Oh, nice. Uh, okay, so that is it for horror news. On to what we've been watching, anything we've seen in the last 7 days or so. Horror or horror adjacent. I guess I'll quickly just mention this one because me and Charlie both watched this and you've seen it already. Predator, Killer of Killers. We watched it last night. Animated anthology. Predators knocking about, capturing the best of the best human
Cutting about,
beings.
just robbing people. If you do a little bit of a predator killing, you're on
Get
the killer
yourself
of
back on
killers
the thing.
list. Captured.
I mean, I'm sure that there are like obviously hundreds of moments where they beat a human, but if this is the only time they take on a human, they're getting their asses kicked. These predators, they're getting their asses handed to them. They got all the gadgets. They got that big punching arm. They got little bombs and stuff. They're getting their heads kicked in by Vikings, samurai, a World War II fighter pilot in a ship plane as well, right?
Yeah.
In a
Do you
shitty
reckon
old
it's
plane.
like predators are playing like a roguelike game and basically a random thing every time they spawn on the planet, they get given this is your gadget, and this one's got why have I got big punch? Why have I
Well, I've got a
got
big punching arm.
Like,
You got to load it up every time. That's
I think
ridiculous.
it's like a battle royale where you
yeah.
basically just get on there, you've got to go and find the first thing you find, and that's your weapon.
Oh, you've got saucepan lid. Sorry, what?
Oh wait, no, you got two saucepan lids. This one, that woman.
Yeah.
You got two saucepan lids. Oh yeah. What I like is like people's reactions. Most people's reactions in this, I don't know, animated characters and they're fictional characters. But when a massive, great, big, horrible predator turns up, most people's reaction is, "I'm gonna fight that." You'd literally, if you're in the Viking era or something, you'd be like, "What the fuck? See you later."
Yeah. You're just big. Yeah. Bearing in mind, we've talked about this in the past, Ben. Like, people in the past, if they just saw anything that was modern, I reckon it'd be enough to kill a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
Famously,
you'd be
your
done
most
in, wouldn't
famous
you?
So,
example.
yeah.
You imagine
If
if you gave a
someone,
Victorian boy a sip of your Tango Ice Blast. That'd be enough.
that's how Charlie reacts when she has a sip of Tango Ice Blast. Goes straight to her head.
Especially the blue one.
Oh,
Especially the bloody blue one.
go into another dimension.
Yeah. If you saw someone invisible, if someone invisible became visible, you're like, what the fuck? I suppose they just thought everything was witchcraft, didn't they?
Oh, it's a ghost, that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Demon.
a ghost. Yeah, that's ghost.
That's a bloody ghost over there. Yeah,
If it was a
terrifying.
demon, you could do the bring me out. What's that guy say?
Uh, oh God, I can't remember. Please bring me out. This is a
Yeah.
very niche, very current TikTok thing that we've discovered today. Can't go bring that up on the podcast, especially for Andy. He's called me Grandad. I'm
Huh?
going to fire
What?
it straight back at him now. Grandad. All right, Grandad. Uh, but yeah, well, I think we liked it, didn't we? Predator Killer of Killers, thought it was pretty
Yeah.
good. I thought the fight sequences were really good. Like, and it made me think that in live action would be outstanding.
That would be expensive.
It'd be expensive, but people will be talking about that for like years to come, wouldn't they? Especially the Viking one, and then the one where the samurai guy was trying to stop those dudes ringing the bell.
That
That was,
was
Mm,
really good. That I think the samurai section was maybe my favorite.
yeah.
yeah, I think
I like
so.
that one.
I didn't realize they were brothers all the time. I thought they were mates.
Yeah.
Because I said they were brothers, and you were like, nah, they could just be friends, and I was like,
They might just be mates. Why don't one of them? Why don't they have a talk then? Why don't one of them go stop fighting? Let's
'Cause they
take me to one side.
got horrible dad.
horrible dad. You basically made one of them fight the other one.
Oh,
Um,
he gave me a little scratch on the face.
when
I'm gonna go on about it forever. Go on.
do either of you know historically when the Viking period was off the top of your head?
Ages.
10
Because
or
so
something.
so are we? Was it implying then? Say it was 600 years ago. Are they implying that they spent 600 years and only came up with those three people?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, they've got old Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse full of them at the
Yeah,
end.
that's true. They did. They had the prey. They had the girl from.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, that is a spoiler. Apologies. I'm sure they got a xenomorph in there somewhere. They might have John McClane on ice. They might have who else?
Arnie,
Arnie. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Who
Danny
knows?
Glover.
Danny Glover, Danny DeVito. They might have all of them. They definitely got Danny Glover. There's Danny. That was Danny Glover's gun, wasn't it? Or there's something similar, like an old
The
person's gun.
pirate, the pirate gun that they went on to give him. So
Yeah.
maybe the final chapter is set before 1989's Predator 2.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, I liked it, and I would. It's like that. To quote a TikTok, it's like that guy when he goes, "Brilliant! I'll have 18 more of them, please.
Yeah.
Delicious. Give me 18 more. That's what I
I think
want."
I said this last time. The only thing I would say is, for good or ill, you can choose your flavor here. It's the most MCU a Predator movie has ever felt.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Very sort of Easter eggy. And then
Mhm.
if I was to look at it through the eye of cynicism, it's perhaps the most like a product the series has ever felt, rather than this is a story I'm trying to tell. But
it's
doesn't mean it's a
still
product I don't like.
a far better story than like I don't know, The Predator, which was weird, tonally very weird.
I think this ties into it a little bit, right? Because it shows you can have boxes of stuff that come through space and time that have stuff in them.
Yeah, give me some stuff. But that's what we watched. Charlie, have you watched anything recently?
I mean,
Without me, how dare you?
yeah, in the last week I did a couple of rewatches actually. So I rewatched Get Out, um, which I don't think again I've seen since it came out really. Um, and It Follows. That was another rewatch I had.
Oh,
And there was I watched that film Drop, which was
How was Drop?
it was all right. I actually really liked it. I think if you throw the rule book out the window and just kind of let whatever happens in the film go, rather than pick it apart and go, oh, that's ridiculous, that wouldn't happen. It is very far-fetched. But if you just kind of go to that and you just watch it and enjoy it for what it is, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's not
Good.
really
And
a
it's
horror.
based.
It's a thriller, but it's kind of, yeah.
It's a thriller based on the concept of airdropping things to people's
Yeah, that's
iPhones, right?
right. Yeah, like a woman goes on a date with a guy, and it's the first date 7 years because her husband died or something. And then, yeah, she's just sat there and she starts getting airdrop messages, basically telling her things that she had to do, she didn't want to do, and if she didn't, that they would kill her son. So,
Could you imagine how absolutely fucked that killer's plan would have been if she'd been an Android user?
yeah. Have you ever been
yeah,
airdropped anything weird,
I
Andy?
think it wasn't airdrop. They used it was like a app that wasn't airdrop, but it had the ability to do the same as airdrop.
Legally
That's how they got
distinct
rid of it.
Legally
I
airdropping.
think they,
distinct.
yeah, because I think they made a point of going, oh, it's like airdrop.
Is that like airdrop? Yeah, it's like airdrop, but it's called
It's called like Pix Drop or something,
It's called
Ping
maybe.
Drop.
it's called Pixdrop. But anyway, we're not going to mention this again now. We've all got on board with the fact that that's
Everyone's
true.
got Pixdrop on their phone, okay?
Yeah, I was thought about giving this a go. I quite liked the idea of the trailer, and I like high concept, but in the same way, really like very specific concept. It's about not even just a horror movie about everyone's on their bloody phone all the time. It's
Yeah,
a concept of this particular feature of
yeah,
your phone. Can you imagine the other horror movie potential? Recurring reminders, WhatsApp,
yeah,
Uh,
pinpointing your location, sharing location. What a time.
yeah. But yeah, it was good. It was just a bit of easy to watch fun. That's what I wanted. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
how about you, Andy? Anything you've seen this week?
Couple of bits and pieces. We had a day of thunderstorms on Saturday, so
I've not seen that.
we treated it exactly
Oh,
right, and we watched Jurassic Park and The Lost World double bill.
Jurassic Park, which
What's to
does
be
have a
said about
thunderstorm in
them?
it, right?
The best. Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah. What is the
Wonderful.
scariest moment in Jurassic Park slash The Lost World?
The raptors chasing them to the kitchen, and the bit where Lex almost falls through the ceiling, and then it
Oh,
jumps up and almost
yeah.
bites her leg.
What about when Mr. Arnold's arm just falls
Yeah,
down?
that's good. Always cut out when it's on ITV, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. People can't
Get the
handle
reference.
people can't handle the severed arm.
No.
They
Um,
missed the bit where he gets chomped on the toilet as well, didn't they? You see
Yeah.
him
see his
scream and then
legs
it
kicking.
ends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I properly got out the physical media and everything and got the Blu-rays out, sat and watched them. What a time.
Oh
Nice.
yes, the only way to do it.
Yeah.
What else is scary in that? Oh, Raptors in the Long Grass.
Oh, wraps
Uh,
in the long grass. Every time I go out anywhere near, every time the lawn needs mowing, I'm always shouting, don't go into the long
don't go
grass.
into long grass to the dog. Just
To everyone.
to everyone, don't go into the long grass. It's 3 inches tall, mate. Don't go into it. No.
Wild Pokemon's in there and Velociraptors get
Yeah,
slapped off as soon as look at you. Um, Inspired by that, I watched something which will it make it onto our watch list for the show? Maybe. I
oh
watched
yeah.
a film of romance, action, gore, huge star power, starring Denise Richards and Paul Walker, rest in peace. Um, Tammy and the T-Rex from 1994.
This is so weird. I saw a thing about this the other day and I'd never heard of it. And I thought it was a joke. But yeah.
Yeah, a young man is tricked by some horrible bullies into being mauled by lions. And then when he's poorly in hospital, a mad scientist puts his brain into an animatronic T-Rex.
An animatronic T-Rex is not
Yeah,
even
so
like a
the
real
T-Rex
T-Rex.
is a robot. Yeah, it's a robotic
Well,
T-Rex. Come on, don't. There's no dinosaurs in real life, Ben, but you can put a little boy's brain into a
is it a
robot
little
one,
boy as well?
like a teenager.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so you can do that, and I mean, spoilers for my review. It's not a horror hangout review if we get there, but 4 stars. My review on Letterboxd is This Is Cinema.
This is cinema. I mean, I have wanted to watch it for a while. It does always look good when I see it.
Pretty sure
Um,
it's on YouTube. You can watch it. But yeah, it's a good time. Then maybe we'll discuss it sometime. Not horror in a scary sense, but someone does get stomped flat by a T-Rex. Other people get really bitten up. It's very good. I
that's
enjoyed
pretty
it an awful
scary.
lot. Yeah. I also, in warrant of the political climate, watched Rumors, the one about the G7 summit with the world leaders get sort of caught in a supernatural
Okay.
apocalypse kind of situation.
Don't know if I've seen that or heard of it.
A little bit surreal. I'm sure it is making some satirical points about policy and how people move. You know how the speed of political will and movement goes. Maybe for a horror movie that I was watching on a day, I wanted a little bit of entertainment and fun. I would have liked something a bit more explicit, but there's some interesting stuff in there and huge cast. Charles Dance, Kate Blanchett, to name just a couple. There is
Oh wow.
big
Okay.
star power, but for me, maybe didn't quite hit the rhythms I was looking for. I think it's in a similar vein to. Have you seen The Dead Don't Die?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like it can be a bit polarizing like that. I'm sure there are people who will tell you it is a masterpiece and like hang on every word of it, but
Mm,
maybe I didn't quite get hold of it.
yeah.
Um, rattle through another couple. I watched the Fear footage, 2018's Fear footage, very VHS coded, lower budget, some decent like tension and scares though.
Yeah.
In celebration of it being almost upon us, I watched the Toxic Avenger 2, where
Nice,
the Toxic
nice.
Avenger goes to Japan and punches loads of people's heads off in a very gory way. Like, if you've ever got just a few minutes to watch the opening fight of the Toxic Avenger 2, it does not pull any punches. Like, there's just the guy opens like a baddie comes to the Center for the Blind where the Toxic Avenger works with his girlfriend and all of the other people that he's helping. A guy just pulls up in a limo and opens the door and says, "Right, send everyone out to get him." And there's clearly people getting into the limo from the other side, just off camera, and just hordes of these variously dressed goons come out. And then literally the first one that comes up to him, he goes to do a big punch, and then it just shows you like in a practical effects way, caving a man's face in, and his eyeball. It is hilarious. He scrunches another little person up into a basketball and then dunks them through a hoop. It is
Classic.
as brilliant as you would expect from a trauma, and also it's a trauma movie. So while it begins to feel at the beginning like, oh, this is like some Power Rangers style like action, then takes really hard turns into just completely naked people and like blood and gore and all those other things. So I loved it. And then
Oh yes.
rounded things off for this week, of course. This week's episode of Friday the 13th, the series, was A Pirate's Promise.
Oh, a pirate's promise, eh? Well,
Yeah.
you can't rely on a pirate's promise by their very nature there.
Well, you can rely on this
Unreliable.
one. So they're after this time the item in question that they're trying to recover is a mystical foghorn. And what it does is it summons the spirit of this pirate captain
Yeah.
back. And it turns out the lighthouse keeper, he comes across like he's being a really nice man, but what he's actually doing is hunting down the survivors from this old pirate's cruise doing a mutiny and killing them off for him
Oh,
in order to get him some treasure. So they've got to put a stop to that, obviously, before it's too late. Will they stop it before it's too late? Arguably, a lot of people die. But
18 people have died. Well, yeah, but you know,
but
they're
to
in...
be fair, it's
Go
a
on,
it's a it's a brighter experience this week because at least it's not a member of the public who's just got into a relationship with one of the lead characters, only to be unceremoniously and quite brutally murdered.
murdered. Yeah.
Still love this show, Ben, and I was saying I've started a little thread on Threads, as is
Yes.
its wont, to cover all the ones I've touched on so far, and then when I've caught up, then I will join myself on just doing one a week. But if you want to hear some of my brief thoughts on each one as a little recap and get a few lovely screenshots for your trouble in case you haven't got the time to watch it, they'll all be on there. And I tell you what, Ben, the response has been overwhelming. Lots of people that we
Oh,
know
yeah.
or vaguely associate on there getting some messages. It's more widely known than you think. Loads of people saying, bloody love this show. Better than the X-Files, one person said. Can't remember if that was me or someone else, but you know.
Amazing.
That's it. It's been plenty to watch this week after you had a rainy weekend. So there we go.
Lovely. Lovely. So, the only other thing we've all seen is the film of the week, which is called Dangerous Animals. And it's a 2025 survival horror film directed by Sean Byrne, and it stars Hassie Harrison, Josh Heuston, Rob Carlton, and Jai Courtney. Plot-wise, when Zephyr, a savvy and free-spirited surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. IMDb 7.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 84% audience score, 74% critic score. Letterboxd 3.1 out of 5. Some choice reviews from Letterboxd. Hailey says, imagine being brutally murdered by a man who casually breaks out into singing Baby Shark song regularly. 3.5 stars. Well, I think it'd be to expected, wouldn't it?
We've only seen
To be
evidence of him
expected.
doing it a couple of times. So
Yeah, only a couple of times.
regularly, come on.
Come on, he's only done it twice. Cobb says, finally the shark movie we deserve. Jai Courtney channels his inner John Kramer and is absolutely glorious. And it's absolutely glorious. 4 stars. Clara Curtis says chomp chomp chomp, gnarly and saccharine, which is a surprisingly effective combo, 3.5 stars. And Theo says it makes complete sense that the only people singing Baby Shark in 2025 are serial killers with a shark fetish, 3 stars. Well, I'm assuming kids are singing it still as well.
Yeah.
There ain't no one out there. There ain't little kids out there killing people. Not maybe.
Yeah. Can't even buy a knife when you're a little kid, let alone a boat.
Andy tried. Andy tried when he was a little one.
I lived in Tamworth, mate. You just get given one.
You get given one before you leave the hospital.
You know when you get little shoes when you're a little kid. That's what you get in Tamworth.
Oh yeah,
it's not
there's a knife in
always
one
little
of them.
shoes. Yeah, yeah. In the like the toe, like Itchy the Killer.
Oh hell yeah! So if anyone comes at you, bang, straight in the neck.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes it's not a knife. We're resourceful in the Midlands. Screwdriver.
Screwdriver, potato peeler. You never know. Is this the first horror film Jai Courtney's been in? I guess so. I'm trying to think about what all the other stuff he's been in. I guess he's been in like genre movies. He was in
Suicide Squad, which is a horrible movie.
Terminator Genesis, which was also a horrible movie. He was in that Divergent series, pretty horrible, even though I've not seen it. He was in 2014's I, Frankenstein, Andy.
Was it your favorite movie, I, Frankenstein?
A movie that we only mentioned just last week. Was it last week? Maybe the week before.
Yeah, it's features Aaron Eckhart as Frankenstein if he wore a hoodie.
Yeah,
and was from a digital only comic series.
I feel like I do recall seeing something.
It's so specific. He's wearing like a hoodie and a blazer, which is a very specific look for like. I reckon it's earlier than 2014. I definitely rocked that at one point.
Based on that look, he would often chime in with, "Have you ever heard of closing the goddamn door?"
He definitely would have. It is a very emo Frankenstein film, though, isn't it? I feel like, if I remember correctly. He is Gideon, leader of the Gargoyle Army in that film, Jai Courtney.
Gideon.
Here, Gideon! What are you doing out there? I'm leading my Gargoyle Army. Don't worry about it. Ignore me. I'm all right. There's a Gargoyle Queen in that as well. There's loads of bloody gargoyles in this film. Might as well call it bloody I Gargoyle. Jesus.
Would be they gargoyle.
Sorry, yeah, they go. Can't even say it. They gargoyle. You're correct. So yeah, Jai Courtney's in this as, what would you call him? Like, to start with, seems like a very nice man. He's got his moral compass is all over the place, doesn't it? He's just like, I'm sick of you lot. Have a shark eating you. Out of order.
He's like a textbook narcissist, isn't he? Because he's charismatic. He's got all those things going on, draws people in, but then.
Yeah. And he's got a big old shark bite on his side as well, hasn't
he?
Yeah.
So he survived a shark attack, and then he decides that everybody else deserves to be chomped into as well.
It's an origin movie waiting to happen, isn't it? You know, it's dangerous animals first kill.
Dangerous animals first kill. Well, he's already done 10 kills at this stage.
Yeah, as is tradition with the Hollywood prequels. He is actually already a murderer, but we're gonna talk about one.
He's done loads of murders, and are we saying pretty much exclusively women? Is that right? Because is it all the tapes are women?
I know he tends to murder the men if they're together, like we see in the opening scene. But then he keeps and feeds women to sharks.
Yeah. And obviously,
he distills and disregards them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does the hair and the tapes for the women, I think.
I know he's a bad guy, right? But he's keeping physical media alive, right?
That's very true. He is.
Someone get me this bloody video recorder thing. I'll get myself down. Well, luckily they've got one down the flea market. It's just down the road. He'll be fine. He has more love for that video recorder than anything else in this world.
And more so than the sharks, even.
Yeah, he watches it when he watches it sinking into the water. He watches it as if it's like Jack from Titanic sinking below.
I did feel bad for him. I was like,
never let go.
That's a low blow.
Yeah.
Nah, he deserved it.
They're not manufacturing them anymore. Still making people, as far as I'm aware.
He's still got his VCR though. He'll be able to do that. He'll just have to upgrade. He'll have to upgrade himself to some 4K. Imagine watching some people get torn apart by sharks in 4K. It'd be quality for him, not for me.
He'd have to get a laptop, and does his laptop have the right memory card adapter in it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's a very much an analog man.
He's going to have to maybe do a couple of extra tours so we can afford the cloud storage.
Yeah, exactly. But
Although, if he
extra
was
tours
willing
means
to,
extra victims.
if he
So
was willing to spring for a Premiere Pro license, he could cut them together ever so lovely, couldn't he?
yeah, he could. I like it. How has he not been picked up at this point? I guess because he always asks people before he takes on a thing. Oh, no, no, you're here then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
he's
you
very
one of those people that's
selective.
on holiday to celebrate or commiserate all your family being dead, so no one be looking for you? It is actually, yeah, common
I'm all
reason.
alone. I can't think of anything better than doing a shark thing. Have you done this before, Andy? Swam with sharks? I feel like you're a man who would just suddenly pull that out.
No, I learned to dive on holiday last year.
Yeah, recently, wasn't it?
Um, I have been in water with sharks, but it was in Malaysia, and they were like little black tip reef sharks, so they are
Yeah. Oh,
small and safe. Like literally, we were just snorkeling out, and you look down and be like, "There he
there they
is,"
are. A baby shark. And
and they're fully grown. They're just a small type. No reason to get into the song.
yeah, that's right. I don't know how I feel about it because I always feel like the gaps in the bars feel like someone could one of them could get a little nose in there and get you.
Yeah, have you not seen that video where one does, where one
Yeah.
like gets stuck in the cage?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. It's insane.
The horrors of like online videos.
That's like, what would be your worst nightmare in this situation? That. There's literally nothing else. It's horrific. You've not
When
swum with
I was
sharks?
when I was going to say when I was a kid, because I grew up in Devon, and on the Devon coast, you used to get basking sharks, which are like the ones where their mouth is permanently open and they're just swimming
Yeah,
around. And I used to genuinely have a fear as a kid that because I can't open my eyes in the water because it stings, I always used to be worried that I would like swim directly into the mouth of a basking shark.
and they wouldn't eat you on purpose, but by
No,
accident.
exactly. But and they wouldn't be chomping you. You'd just be like going in and then
I
you
bet I
just
bet you were thinking this when you were in like 3 feet of water, weren't you?
no. Like when I was
But I
out.
don't think anyone opens their eyes under the sea anyway, do they? That's that's pretty mad.
Psychopaths, Jai Courtney.
Psychopaths, yeah, I can't open my eyes under the water. No, I
People
would
in
never do
films
that.
always do. They don't know like the girl in this. She opened her eyes.
Yeah.
Like, a-
But
They're
honestly,
mad.
like
That's worse.
realistically, you wouldn't see shit. And it was nighttime as well, so I was trying to say like, oh, the moonlight's just no,
Yeah.
you
really
wouldn't see
quiet,
shit.
yeah.
So
So,
what? How would you have dealt with the problem, Charlie? Would you just like keep swimming and hope they also had a big wide bum so you could swim out the other
Swim
end,
out,
or
a
yeah.
big
Or
wide
try
bum.
to like flip myself and backstroke out
yeah.
I did.
quicker than the shark's moving.
I did see that we're getting a movie adaptation of that book, Whale Fall, as well, which is essentially about a man who gets swallowed by a whale.
Pinocchio?
It's bloody Pinocchio, isn't it? He's got swallowed by the bloody whale. They're making a film about it now.
And you
They've
bump
made
into
loads
your
of films
dad
about
there
it.
as well. Can you imagine that? The coincidence. All this trouble, been swallowed by what? Oh, my dad's here. Of all the people in the world.
What are
And his
you?
cat and goldfish.
What are you doing here? What on earth are you doing here? Yeah, and then obviously in terms of this, Hassie Harrison is Zephyr. Um, why have they given her that name?
What do we know? Because
Zephyr
she
song.
really loves the. Yeah, really
Fly
loves that
away
one.
on my Zephyr.
Like, sort of, yeah. That song.
Yeah. I mean, have they tried to go, she's a surfer, she's a free spirit, let's give her
Free
a
spirit,
mad name.
like a bit of wind.
She's like a bit of wind, this young lady. She is like, if you're a serial killer and you're trying to do her in, you'd be so annoyed, wouldn't you? You'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, why have I? Well, he seems to say he likes a fighter, but this is one
Mm.
step too far. This isn't it?
Yeah, it
Too
is.
much of a fighter.
Like,
Just
I
chill
want
out.
you to be just enough as a fighter. I want you to lose at fighting, though, if you
Yeah.
could.
Ah, there are some bits in this where you really do think that she's finally succeeded, and she just gets.
I know. You're just like, I'll give it a.
It's-
You're allowed
Give
to
her
escape.
5 minutes, for God's sake. Okay, so
What do you know Zephyr from? Anything else?
Hassie Harrison, what's she
Hassie
been in?
Harrison.
A lot of TV shows. It looks like nothing I necessarily really know.
There's something I'm now interested in. I'm looking at her, I think 2020's number by Scott Condit and Jeremy Tramp. Max Reload and the Nether Blasters.
Jesus.
A small town video game store clerk must go from zero to hero after accidentally unleashing the forces of evil from a cursed ColecoVision game. Straight on the watch
Jesus.
list.
I
Straight on
say,
the
don't
watch
bother
list.
going from zero to hero. Just get out of there, for God's sake.
Yeah, leave it.
I mean, now I look at the poster though, I'd definitely watch that.
Yeah,
That's got Fright Fest written all over it as well, isn't it?
it absolutely does. Look at that sword he's got there.
It absolutely does.
Has she got a power glove on?
It looks great.
Yes.
It looks great, but she's in it. Hassie
Right.
Harrison is in
I
it.
mean, I think based on the poster alone, this just became her second best movie.
Yeah. Josh Houston is in the film as Moses as well, who Zephyr meets quite early on in the film. And really, I feel like I've watched a couple of films recently where having someone who's so into someone else that they'll move heaven and earth to to find them when they maybe go missing. Like if they just turned up like normal, it'd be like this guy's obsessive. But the fact that she did get kidnapped is like he's a hero. I feel like in The Vanishing as well, there was a woman who was literally going to heaven and earth to find Kiefer Sutherland's character.
To fight Kiefer Sutherland.
To fight Kiefer Sutherland, to find Kiefer Sutherland's character. She was like hacking into his computer, wasn't she? Do you remember, Charlie?
Yeah.
She was hacking into his computer, like going, what could his password be? Oh, it's all right though, because I'm trying to find him. I'm trying to help him. So I'm just going to sit here for 2 hours trying to hack into his computer. I've hacked in now, and he
Is
just
it
walks.
password? No. Password 1.
No,
Password
it was
1,
something
2, 3.
ridiculous.
Yes.
You know when someone's like sat there and they go, what would the password be? It's got to be something to do with me. So it's going to be the date we met, the date we went on our first date.
Her name, didn't she? Just her first name.
Yeah. I'm like, get over yourself, for God's sake. And in the end, it ended up being something completely different. This is what Moses is a bit like. He kind of gets, first of all, I will get into this, I know. First problem Moses has, he gets up at the crack of dawn. It's still dark to make her breakfast.
And she's already gone.
That's a red flag.
Oh, you want some getting up early?
You want some breakfast? Yeah, I do, but hey, it's bloody dark. What? No. Keep sleeping for a while. But yeah, she fucks him off. That's a red flag. Secondary thing. Did you feel like he was going to maybe be involved somehow because of how they met? Like he's, oh, bloody hell.
Too handsome.
Too handsome, yeah, you're right. So how do we start? We don't start with these characters. We start with tourists Greg and Heather.
Lovely cold open.
Cold open, visiting Tucker's experience, which is obviously Jai Courtney's character, Tucker. He's got a boat where he's a shark cage tourist attraction. It says here he's an eccentric boat captain. Well, I guess he is. But he seems friendly enough, but he does get to the bottom that Greg and Heather have pretty much just met each other on some sort of tourist excursion, and no one else knows they're there, which is very key to this, isn't it?
Yeah. Not tagging themselves on Facebook that at Tucker's.
What are we doing there? I'm just tagging myself on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page.
Oh, don't.
Please don't. He's got a website though. Website that's half decent as well.
Is he? How is he accumulating TripAdvisor reviews? Is he doing that while he's captured people, getting on their phone? I think Tucker was brilliant. Recommend his singing.
He can't be doing this for everyone though, can he? Because he needs to make a living as well. Well, I suppose he's still getting paid.
They probably pay in advance. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still got to make a living. And also, if everyone went missing, I saw you took that couple out. Where are they? Well, they decided to jump off early.
Over there, yeah.
I dropped him off over there, mate.
Maybe that's what he does. He does a bit like that episode of Bottom where they think they've killed the gas man. He gets on the TripAdvisor and they've wrote like, after a lovely talk with Tucker, I went and decided to indulge in my new hobby of shark surfing without a cage, covered in blood. Hopefully I'll be fine, but if I die, it's not Tucker's fault. Signed,
I'll die doing what I loved.
Signed, the alive tourist, Greg and Heather.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because the thing is, he seems to like cover all the angles just in case things do go wrong. But at the same time, I think he's driven by something that isn't necessarily logical, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he does help them relax to get in.
He does.
And unveils Charlie's superpower in doing so. So he pretends he's doing a breathing exercising with them to get them ready to go in with the sharks, which he uses to count them into a, would you say, rousing rendition of Baby Shark?
Yeah. It was
pretty rousing.
Pretty jaunty.
Yeah.
It started off quite calm.
Everyone seemed to like it, yeah.
Charlie, you're telling me you've seen no less than 3 films that feature Baby Shark recently. What are the other 2? Jog our memories.
In the space of a week. So there was this one. Then me and Ben watched Megan is Missing. And the 2 girls.
Oh my God, yeah. Why didn't we mention that? We did watch Megan is Missing, didn't we?
Yeah. And the 2 girls in that at the credit scene, there's a scene where they're like in their room and they're singing Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Then in the film Drop, you obviously want like where you're unsure of who the person is who's airdropping and whatever. But there's a new guy who's playing piano. It's like a fancy bar. He plays piano and he goes, oh, any requests to her, and she goes, oh, just one. Could you play Baby Shark? It's my son's favorite song. And then about halfway into the film, he's playing like a piano rendition of Baby Shark. And I was like, I actually can't believe that this is now the third film in the space of 1 week that I've watched that
reckon,
has a Baby Shark in it.
do you reckon you're the only person on planet Earth that's happened to this week?
I reckon it must be.
The only
I
person who's watched
reckon
that
it must
exact
be
combination of movies.
filmed in
Yeah,
that
it's
short
I guess
time. Yeah.
two of them are pretty modern, so yeah. But
Yeah.
Megan is missing is quite old.
Yeah, but it was the second time, and I didn't even think about it being in the film Drop until probably a day or two after I watched it. It just didn't click at the time, and then I think I was saying to someone about it, and then I was like, "Oh wait, it was in that film as well," and I was like, "No, that's enough."
I
Like,
wonder if there's an IMDb tag, films that feature the song Baby Shark.
There must be.
yeah, there must be. Yeah, but
Um,
But yeah, when
yeah. So
I was talking to someone about it, and we were just trying to explain, thinking of the reasons, and we were it's like a juxtaposition of it being in like a nasty film, and it's just so out of
yeah,
place.
I
It
suppose
actually
it's like
would
supposed to
take you
relax
somewhere else
you,
and
the
relax.
audience,
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well as the characters.
False sense of security type thing. So
This guy's all right. He knows Baby Shark. Where's he heard that?
And to be
Because you
fair,
don't seem
he
to watch much on
does.
TV other than women getting murdered, women getting eaten by sharks. Sorry.
That's the only thing he watches.
What's your favorite program? Well, I don't really watch TV, but I got this. Sometimes I watch women getting eaten alive by sharks,
Maybe
and
he does a quick sort of AI summary of what are the hot things, so he's got some good chat when people come on the boat.
that's a good
yeah,
point. Yeah, he watches the
So
weekly roundup.
he knows what happened in the last series of White Lotus. You ask him.
He'll know. He's bang up to speed. So yeah, this is
Yeah,
to
well, he'd be like,
relax.
"Hey, mate, what's Toadfish up to recently?" And he goes, "Actually, Neighbours is
Oh Jesus,
currently cancelled at this point, but it's back again."
Toadfish. And who's the other guy? Looks like you.
A stingray. He looks like me if I took far better care of my appearance and lived in a sunny Australian.
Okay.
But I am taller, so got that.
So eat shit, Stingray. Um, so this is to relax the tourists, Greg and Heather, which it does. They get down in the cage where some sharks are swimming around.
It does deliver the experience they paid for then.
He does. He
yeah.
delivers the experience they paid for, and Heather like panics a little bit, but then her and Greg have a nice little moment where they have a little cuddle.
They bubble
Um,
Baby Shark. Whoop, whoop, whoop. They show they're still singing
yeah.
it underneath.
Does I think he does explain to the characters before they go down in the cage that he survived a shark attack as a child, which scarred him and changed his view of the species. Also, like, there's a little subtle. Someone says, "Oh, wasn't anyone looking after you or something?" And he says, "Oh no, I was on my own, and I spent a lot of time on my own." So that's a really good way of establishing this character as like being probably having a troubled childhood, a lonely childhood, and now he's a bit of a lone wolf going around
Moon
doing the
Shark.
things he's doing. But yeah, they participate in the cage dive. Then they get out, and Tucker gives Greg a tiny little quick stabbing in the neck.
The old one too. This was really shocking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
it
says
was.
something, doesn't he? He says something to him first, and he say like,
Oh, by the way,
yeah, I think he does. He goes, "You all right, mate?" Stab, stab.
he literally does like an Assassin's Creed,
Yeah,
like
It's
little
fun, like,
animation. Like he has the if you were Tucker, you have like a one button quick action, like assassinate. He just like goes, and the guy goes,
yeah.
falls away.
Even
and then
Heather's reaction
does
is
he
like
go like,
delayed.
"Welcome to Australia"? Does he say that? I feel like that's what he says.
Yeah, he might do.
He does it, and he goes, "Welcome to Australia," and then it's like,
Welcome to Australia, bitch. And then we get the yeah,
I loved it. I loved that whole little section. I thought it was great.
yeah.
And like Heather turns around and goes, "What?"
Excuse me? What's going
This
on
could
here?
have been. I mean, at least for all of his faults, Tucker, that happened so fast. If he'd been a worse bloke than he already is, could have gaslighted her and goes, "What?
What's happening here?
Greg? This, I don't know what you're talking about."
He
There
did that
was
on
no
his own.
Greg. Never heard of him. Greg. See you later.
Look
Yeah,
at can you see
then
him down there? Well, he's fallen in the sea. No, 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 no. He'd be floating. He's gone. There's no
he's
grave.
vanished, mate. He's pissed off. He's actually sick of you.
He
He's
said, he said,
excited.
He said, I'm gonna swim home. He
He
looked like he was
whispered in
holding
my
his
ear.
neck.
He whispered in my ear, sick of her.
That's why he's got. He said he had a sore throat. Sore throat for having to reassure you being scared of sharks all the bloody time. So he's gone.
uh, and then then we get the title card arrives, and then at the Gold Coast. Well, I guess we're at the Gold Coast anyway. We're introduced to Zephyr. She's a drifter. She loves to surf. She's surfing around all the time. And she lives in a van. She's got a lovely free life. She roams wherever she hangs her hat / surfboard.
I love it how she is a drifter, but
Not
has
homeless.
managed to go to a country with famously quite strong immigration laws. Quite strong immigration laws. So obviously has sufficient money to be able to secure a van and to be able to travel around. So she's not doing.
No.
I'm not sure you can truly claim
No.
drifter. You're not walking around with a handkerchief tied to the end of a stick.
Yeah, she's doing fine.
Be interesting to know if she had completed or she had to complete her 1 month in farming.
Oh yeah,
You have
that's it.
to get a visa, don't you?
Did it say that?
No, they didn't say that. But I was just saying.
If you want an
That's part of
extended,
the
you can
thing, isn't it?
extend your visa if you have a go at picking the fruit, can't you?
I reckon
Yeah,
she just
exactly. So
she
was
just
she
went-
intending to do that? Has she done that? That'd have been
She
an
just went,
interesting-
I'm gonna keep moving in the van. You'll never find me. See you later. Whee!
What's your address here? Oh, I'll fill it in later. Sounds legit. Off you go.
Sounds legit. To be fair though, her car was still like on record, wasn't it? Like as license and registration and stuff. So she's got that sorted. Legit.
Yeah. I would go so far as to say extended holiday maker, Zephyr.
Extended holiday maker and van enthusiast Zephyr reluctantly helps real estate agent Moses start his car. So he turns up at the old. Well, is it supposed to suggest that she's a little bit short of money because she? What does she do? She gives herself the 5-finger discount on what is
Well,
it?
she buys a Tango Ice Blast,
Which are
she
probably
buy-
like pretty expensive.
but it's slightly less expensive than a whole tub of Ben and Jerry's that she's put in there.
Yeah.
Because she goes
Yeah.
into the cashier and goes, tub of I mean, Tango Ice Blast, please. And he goes, oh,
He's just an awful shoplifter. I'll have a tub of I mean, the Tango Ice Blast, but sorry.
although
me,
maybe
what's that
that's
slip
it.
of the
The double
tongue all
bluff. I'll have a tub of Ben and Jerry's, please. But, madam, you have a Tango Ice Blast. Good news. That's much cheaper. Oh, thank goodness. Sorry,
Good news. That's $1 cheaper. You save $1.
I'm a visitor to this country. I don't know what any of your products are called. Well, don't worry about it. Have your Tango Ice Blast and get
Don't
on your
worry
way.
about it. Yeah. Fella called Moses turns up. He's like, I need to start my car.
Dressed like he's from Right to Censor.
Dressed like he's from Right to Censor. He walks in and the alarm's playing. Are you all right? Yeah, I just need some jumper cables. And even gone. He's ever so pushy in here because I feel like if someone just said to me, "Nah, I ain't got any jumper cables," I'd be like, "Okay, on your way."
You look like someone who's got jumper
I
cables.
reckon you're lying because you live in this van, and if you don't sort me out with jumper
I'm going to
cables,
grass on you.
I'm gonna grass on
Congrats on
you.
you that you stole a Ben and Jerry's.
I'm gonna go back in there and say, "Look at your CCTV," because this bitch has stolen some Ben and Jerry's for a price of a Tango Ice Blast. And she got it in there as well. She just got an empty cup,
Yeah, you fill it your own, don't you?
so she hasn't
you-
like.
You put it in a
Drank-
cup and then she's filled the rest of it up with.
Or what you could have done and had both is just necked the Tango Ice Blast, had the worst brain freeze of your life.
You want one ice cream then?
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't possibly anything but ice cream.
I mean, that's not really meeting all your needs because you've got something which is sweet and cold. What she really wanted to do was, I don't know, put a pork pie in the bottom of the Tango Ice Blast, or
Yeah, and an ice cream, an ice cream, a pork pie, pepperonis around the edge.
it's the 21st century ploughman's lunch, Cornish pasty. Just fill a Tango Ice Blast cup with a full meal.
21st century ploughman's lunch. That's what she wants.
That's what she wants. All the get yourself like a block of cheese down the bottom. That's expensive.
Delightful. Yeah. So they have a little. She decides to help him, but she's like, "I'll just drive you back to your car, and then I'll sort you out." They have a little bit of a bond because they both love a bit of surfing.
She
Uh,
goes from being so rude to him, going, "Oh, you music shit, and you're a dickhead," to seeing a
well,
surfboard on his car
right.
and going,
I don't know how
Yeah.
I feel about the obsession with this Creedence Clearwater
Clearwater.
Revival song. Is
Yeah.
that right? Number one, it is a bad song. I don't care what they say. It's a
"It's
bad song.
no,
Number two,
it's no
it's a
Bad Moon
cover.
Rising."
It's a cover. It's a Roy Orbison song, right? It would be like bonding over what's your favorite Alien Ant Farm song? Smooth Criminal. Oh, that's probably true, actually. But do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, actually, Smooth Criminal's the worst Alien Ant Farm song. It's a bloody cover. It's like they couldn't get the rights for the Roy Orbison one, so they just went, well. But it gets a tiny little bit too much attention for my liking. Having it appear like two or three times is fine. One of the characters literally saying it as like a get away from her, you bitch moment
Oh
is
God, that's
I'm
terrible.
afraid to say awful.
Now I'm
Bit
just
like that.
imagining with the going, "We're gonna have to go with Credence." Oh, can't I get the Roy Orbison? I've been ringing him. I can't get him on the line.
Can't get
Tell
him
him
on the
what's up
line.
with him, Roy.
Think he might be dead. Nah, he's alive. He's always harping on about it. Come on.
He's always talking
Uh,
about how long he drives for as well,
yeah.
all night.
So they bond about that, and then guess what? They have a one night stand. Zephyr is very clear. She's not one for romance or flings or anything like that, or getting close to anyone. She holds everybody at arm's length, sometimes quite literally. Moses gives her a lovely bit of sex, says, "I'm going to do a lovely bit of brekkie for you. You wait."
Because we
I'm gonna
love
wait
each other now because of surfing.
because we love each other. I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. normal and go, and go out and make you the best breakfast you ever had. What does he make? Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Big old tower of pancakes, and a yop comes out and says, "Here's what I got for you."
Johnny Yasu.
Has she got a fucking electric van or something? How'd she get away in silence? It's
She's a
like
drifter.
He
I've
just
got
took
the
the
most.
handbrake off and just
just
rolled a
just took
bit
the
and
handbrake off and
then
just rolled all the way down the hill backwards, and then put the engine on when she was.
I think we need to comment on this, though, Ben. I think sex is coming back in movies. The prude days are over. Like
Well,
I'm looking forward to a whole new generation of kids growing up today watching a horror movie, which is probably not too scary, so you can get into
yeah,
it. It's like me when I was, about 10 and the Terminator was on, I was allowed to watch it. And
Arnie's
then
ass.
yeah. Yeah, Arnie's bum, and then there's a sex scene, and then you've just got to wait for someone to break first. In my household, it was always my mom going, "I don't think that scene needed to be in that."
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah,
Oh
I think
no.
you got to immediately mention it. Otherwise, if you just sit there in that silence, it will eat away at you.
Oh,
It will.
yeah.
You need to immediately go. You need to comment on something. The song choice. That's always a good one. You can just go. Imagine getting it onto this song. I couldn't possibly. Or comment
So
on
I
something.
bet you couldn't. You're 10.
Or comment on something happening around the room. Like I would have said, what a lovely interior this van is. It's very homely.
Or gone
Wouldn't-
very practical and gone, they're putting themselves at risk to the Terminator right now. In this film, you'd have to go, "What are we going to have for breakfast after this?"
What am I going to eat after this? Because having a bit of sex does often create a bit of an appetite. So I'll
Decent
go in
cardio,
and
isn't
make a lovely stack of pancakes, and she's basically fucked him and chucked him.
it?
And then he texts her, and she goes, "What does she say? Early bird gets the."
He's about to say, well, they have a text. Oh, I'm going to do some surfing actually, and he sort of says, "Do you want me to come surfing?" And she's
Oh
about to
no!
text, "That'd be lovely," but unfortunately,
she
doesn't
deletes
get
it.
doesn't
And
get
She
she
that
like
deletes
far.
it. Yeah, she deletes it first
she writes
because.
like basically, oh, it's a free country.
Well, actually, you could surf if you want, but I'll be surfing in this area, and if you come close to me, I'll be fuming. Early bird gets the barrel, I think she says something like that, doesn't she? And I'm like, do you love surfing so bloody much that you need to do it in the dark? Wait for the
Can you
bloody.
imagine if it turned out he'd been lying about being into surfing? Because the barrel is a surfing temperature. You have those round waves like off Television X, right? Um, but imagine if he'd been lying about being really into surfing and is faking it. He just had a surfboard, and they'd be like,
Wipe out.
Early bird gets the barrel." I'd be like, "All right, Donkey Kong, come on, leave us alone."
Oh my God. Uh, yeah.
But
So
when they started having sex, there is, what is it, a fin key?
yeah, the fin key like
What does that
pulls.
do? It allows you to go surfing.
It allows you to tighten. like your fin, I guess. So
You have like the fins on the underneath of the surfboard, don't you, which you take off because they can snag on things, I think. So you put them back on and
there we go.
twist the things so that they go back on.
Oh,
Because
we know
sometimes they
which
get
one of
quite
us.
big.
Which
Yeah.
We
one of
know
us grew
which
up
of
in
the three of
Devon?
us Zephyr would get on best with. Charlie the Surfer.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Do you make anyone? Do you make anyone breakfast at 4 a.m., Charlie?
Hell no. I wouldn't even make myself breakfast at 4 a.m. Well, maybe if you're coming in at 4 a.m., you have a little
That's still
snack.
kebab time, surely. 4 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, not pancake time.
Pancakes.
Maybe a crisp sandwich, but like I would say
Mm.
earliest possible breakfast is 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, even then, kind of
And
mad.
that's if you're climbing Ben
Ravenous.
Nevis or something.
Yeah.
Or
Early.
going to an airport when any time is breakfast time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you'll have pancakes and a pint of beer.
And a pint of beer, yeah. But
Bottle of
any other
wine.
time, if you do that in a Wetherspoons, people think you've got a problem. But do it in an airport, people think you're a legend. So yeah, the Finn key, she loses it, and then when she's there, she notices it's gone, and she decides she's like a pickup truck that no one's in or near, and like goes over, going, "I'm gonna just borrow your Finn key. Uh, don't worry, I'll give it back." But then, who should appear but Mister Tucker himself? Um, and he goes, yeah, and again, he does that thing where he seems very charismatic and very nice and says, I've got a Finn key, don't worry, you can use it. I've got loads actually, you can keep one. I have 5 Finn keys, all right? Why not?
I need one.
I need one, yeah. And he goes away and you think, oh, that was a nice interaction. That's probably the last time we'll see that character again in the
What he
thing.
did was he nipped down to the plastic bag shop.
But he nipped down to the plastic bag shop, came up with a W.H. Smith bag and stuck it straight on her head. And
He's got a dangerous one from the 80s as well, not one that like has holes in it so you don't
don't
suffocate.
put this bag on your head. Before that, people were putting bags on their head left, right, and centre.
You couldn't move in Tamworth in 1985 for just the bodies of children with bags that they put on their own heads.
The bodies of children from that,
Step it over
and
them in co-op.
there were dead kids in classrooms from leaning back on their chair on 2 feet. They fell
Oh,
back
just
and broke their neck.
just get impaled on the broken
Yeah, that was
shards of
happening all
chair.
the time. Uh,
Just car wrecks from people putting the light on in the back of the car.
oh my God, yeah.
Final Destination on the M42.
Turn that bloody light off right now. Fuck, like
I'd argue,
burnout
Dad.
free.
I'd argue, Dad, that you were at more risk of crashing from turning around and shouting at me
Yeah,
than this light ever caused.
yeah. What was that about? Like, what did it
That
mean?
is,
You just
if
could
any,
have not turned it on, could you?
yeah,
We're allowed.
Can't do it.
I've never looked at the demographics. I don't imagine we have a huge under 18 audience, but if you are listening to this, kids, parents are lying to you. It's not against the law to have the light on in the back of the car. They just don't like it.
Yeah,
Why
that's
don't they
true.
like it as well? What?
I've driven with it on before without even realizing.
I've done it before. I've driven quite a significant distance, and only when I got off, I was like, "Oh, this light's on the whole time." Everyone on the motorway has just seen me fully illuminated,
Fully lit.
driving along.
Who's this guy coming down? Bloody hell! Looks like Blackpool Illuminations in there. So yeah, he makes her unconscious, smothers her
He suffocates her just enough.
just enough. He's good at doing that, isn't he? He's like choking people left, right, and centre until they.
He knows
dead.
exactly. He knows exactly what you'll pass at the time you pass out, but not die from any given method.
Yeah. So Tucker abducts her, puts her in a bloody surfboard bag, doesn't he?
Yes, we
That'd
can.
be horrible to wake up in, wouldn't it? It'd be worse than worse than waking up in a coffin, really, because you're like,
Like a body bag, wouldn't it?
yeah.
And thankfully, his employer is the least observant man in the
Oh,
world.
his
It's just him and his
employer-
dog. He goes,
His dog is way more observant than he is. His dog's like barking at Tucker, going, "He's a bastard. He's been killing
Murderer."
people. Shut up, will you?" He's got a little beard, the dog, hasn't he?
"Yeah,
Very distinguished gentleman. So yeah, the guy on the boatyard like is just like, "All right, Tucker, how you doing, mate?" He tries to talk to him actually, but Tucker's just like, "Eat shit."
It's like, no, stop it. I've got
So
work
he-
to do."
He abducts her, and then we see like Moses like arrives at the surfing spot the next morning, but sees no sign of Zephyr, and like
But her van's there, isn't it?
Oh, her van is there. Yeah, so he looks in her van. Oh, he tries to ring her phone as well, doesn't he? But
And
so
does it
he
ring
immediately
in the van?
it
Yeah.
does ring in the van. Yeah, and it's got that ringtone that goes. What ringtone has he got, Charlie? She got.
I don't know.
Does she have
Not
classic?
that one, but
I thought it was
maybe.
the Glockens with the gung 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 gung. Gung. That one.
That's a alarm one. No, your timer's up. No signs of Zephyr. Now you could go. She's out there surfing. She stitched me up. I'm trying to make her a lovely breakfast. I'm just gonna go home and get on my life now. But no, he's persistent. I think he got something in his head where something's wrong here. Foul play is afoot.
Did
And
you
then
see
we
the dots when she was typing and thought, obviously kidnapped?
obviously kidnapped. I'm gonna assume that now. If
Page
someone starts
15 of
typing,
the Stalker's Manifesto.
it is a bit like it's very touch and go, isn't it? Like the fact that we know what's happening is fine, but frame this film slightly differently, and play some ominous music when he's looking out to sea,
And he's
and
the baddie.
he would be the baddie of this
Maybe he just
film.
doesn't like his job and he's like, hello? Yeah, I can't come in today. I'm pretty sure this girl who I'm seeing has been kidnapped. And the boss
And
would say,
uh, and there's an old bloody
fair
stack of
enough.
pancakes here going uneaten, and wait, I'm not on waste not want not. So we got to get her back here to eat them. Zephyr awakes chained to a bed in a room on the boat where Heather from the opening scene is also being held. And yeah, so Tucker's holding them both captive.
Captain. He comes in. He stands up. What are your orders, Captain?
Holding them both captain in a boat. You two are the captains of this boat. What are you
Don't
doing?
say that. That's the only rule you can't say.
What
as
are you
the
doing down
captain,
here?
Let me go. This is the captain's course. What way do you want to go? Left or right?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, like so, he's got them chained up. He's given them like the very basics: food and a little drink of water. He's got a bucket that he's making
Vegemite
them.
sandwiches. That's not the
Oh yeah,
basic.
Vegemite sandwiches. You'd eat
So
that though,
that's a
Charlie. What are you on
staple.
about?
Nice.
You'd literally eat that.
Australian staple.
Yeah, but you'd literally eat that, wouldn't you?
I love a Marmite sandwich. Yeah.
But see, exactly, like that's not even bad for you. That's like you eating the best you eat.
Yeah. Someone went, "Do you want this?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah,
A marmite sandwich.
He says,
hell yeah."
"Has
Has the bucket
drugs in
got
it? You
has
have
the
to
bucket
tell
got a
me if
toilet
there's-
seat on it? Or have I imagined that?
Has it
You've
got a
imagined that.
toilet seat on it?
You've definitely imagined.
I think I saw one at download.
It had a toilet roll hanging off the
That's
pan.
what it had. Yeah, that's right. So I was thinking like at least
Yeah.
you're not drip drying, are you? Because that would be even more
Horrible.
humiliating than it already is. Zephyr is obviously she's very determined to get out immediately. She's like, give me the wire in your bra so I can try and pick the lock. And
Not
she's
determined enough, though, I think, because you know what you could do if you really wanted to get rid of this guy.
do you glove yourself?
No, I was going to say full goblin mode. Cover yourself in the shit from that bucket.
Oh yeah,
He's not coming anywhere near you.
That's a
If
good.
you, when you hear him coming, you just absolutely cake yourself in that shit. He goes, "Go on then, carry me outside, eh?"
What's this VHS tape that you've not labelled? It wasn't a very good one. She was covered in shite from the workout.
Sharks weren't interested.
Or when he
No.
first captured you, don't tell him your name, and then when he goes to put you in the water and say, "See, you're about to label that tape. My name's not Heather." He'd be like, "Oh shit."
Shit. And then
Rumpelstiltskin him.
I've been
I'll give you three
rumpy.
names, 3 days to guess my name. If you can't do it, you got to let us go. Somehow I've been tricked into this bargain. Okay.
It doesn't matter. I'm just going to label the tape Miscellaneous. All right.
Yeah.
Give me a lock of your hair. It's caked in shit. So you're gonna have to.
Yeah, literally. I feel like I've just solved this film. It's not going to say
solved
it's going to
this
be
film, yeah.
pleasant, but neither is being eaten by sharks.
No.
Literally covered in shit from that bucket. And every time he comes to get you, be like, "Whoa!"
Oh. So yeah, she tries to unpick the lock. Can't. What does she? Can't do
It's
it. He
Heather's
comes.
bra because you got a wire in that bra. Is it here?
How long you been here and you haven't tried to pick the lock with a wire from your bra? You fucking
Haven't you
dickhead.
seen any films there? But all you need is a piece of metal to essentially open any
Yeah,
lock.
it's fine. That's
You
fine.
just make it into the shape of a key.
Unsuccessful at that. Tucker drugs them both with a lovely. You want some water? Do you? You're absolutely gasping. Well, I've crushed up loads of drugs into it, made it into a lovely paste using a pestle and mortar. I'm very resourceful, and now you're drugged. You both awake on deck, and so what he wants is latest victim sits in a chair and watches the victim he's had the longest get hoisted up into the air by the. She's attached to a harness, hovered over the water. He chucks a load of old chum into the water, which is ground up blood and guts and shit, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Fish
Chum.
guts. Not
Chum.
pedigree chum. Because
Not pedigree chum. No.
Gets
Unfortunately
dogfish.
not.
You'd have to get
Sharks don't like
just
that.
regular chum.
Sets up an old video camera to record as Heather gets lowered into the water, the opposite of like a grabber machine.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Which are fixed anyway. So I feel like this is fixed as well. You know what the outcome's going to be. What would you do if you're in this situation, Charlie? Stay still. Stay still.
Yeah, I know that's obviously the logic in it, but I just don't think I would be able to. I would maybe I'd try and do like a Brian Blessed, like punch a shark in the nose.
I liked how you disappeared when you said that. I'll
Yeah.
try and do a Brian
Try and
Blessed.
do a Brian Blessed.
Completely vanished. When does Brian Blessed punch? When does Brian Blessed punch a shark in the nose?
Just in
He
his
punched
life.
a polar bear in the nose. Did you not hear that story?
In real life?
Yeah. He tells a story that he was in.
All right, Brian. We've all heard this one. You've had all right.
Yeah,
You've had
Arctic,
enough. You've had
and he
6
said-
pints. I
And he
punched a
says that
polar
he
bear in the
woke up in
nose.
the night because he could hear a rustling sound. He unzipped his tent and it was a polar bear, and it like rammed its way into his tent and was like growling, and he thought, I'm gonna die. So he just like bellowed at it, like
Of course he did.
punched it in the nose, and it ran away.
I feel like though,
So I do that.
the whole thing about punching a shark is fine, but A, it's dark. It'd be really difficult to know. You'd be bitten before you knew it. Second of all, punching underwater, hard work. We've all had a dream where you can't punch properly, where you're like punching in slow motion. It would be that.
Yeah.
Come here then, shark. Whoa.
Slow motion punch, yeah.
Yeah.
On the nose. I think it's is it
Flash 'em.
thumbs in the eyes? Is that maybe one? Rake its eyes,
Turn him upside down.
turn them upside
Grab
down,
him
take a belly.
Yeah. And then surf on him.
Oh,
They shut down if you turn them upside
surf,
down.
turn them upside down, surf your way out of there. Fucking eat shit, Tucker. All the best. But unfortunately, Heather doesn't do that. I mean, Zephyr's trying to offer words of encouragement. Don't move. Be careful, etc.,
Say
etc.
things that make his video unbroadcastable. To put it back.
Mm.
Tucker, bloke called Tucker with a small dick is killing me. Fucking me and the sharks.
Sing a Lost Prophets song really loud.
Oh no! This is all unusable now.
This is unusable. I don't want anyone to think that I like a Lost Prophet song. Well, you love it, mate.
Please,
he's
Australian, you'd say this bloke before he captured me. He said that he always liked Rolf Harris, no matter what his crimes. And he was like, oh.
No, he didn't say that. He said he's an Australian.
National treasure.
He's a national treasure. He's So he's recording Heather being loaded into the water, but yeah, she gets done in. She gets devoured by the sharks, eaten like ripped in half. Isn't there is it like a severed head we see like floating around as well at one point?
We used to it, yeah. We see
It is scary. Like it is genuinely one of my worst nightmares. I think like because the sea is just so like never unending and gloomy and just horrible. Nighttime sea infinitely worse than daytime sea as well.
Horrible nighttime sea.
Horrible nighttime sea. Like I'd just be like, you can do me in tomorrow, but please just do it when it's a nice sunny day.
Yeah, do it a nice sunny day.
So I can see when you can see what's coming then as well, couldn't you? You go, oh, there it is.
The worst thing about it is that always, just in the distance, the Venga bus, but a boat form, is always just there. And you can see that literally just out of earshot, you can just hear on the wind.
It is literally
Please,
like,
come on.
Isn't it literally like Titanic? Wasn't there like a boat like nearby, like within, and it was like, how far away is it? It's just
Too far.
longer than it would take this boat to sink Titanic. So we'll be
Sadly.
dead by the time it gets there. Oh, great. Just dangling in front of you like a carrot.
So the Venga boat is always just there. They're like, please help us, but they can't hear him.
What we got to do is got to wait for that song to end before the next one starts. Then shout. She's shouting while it's in the full flows of up and down.
Sadly, there's a DJ on who's got the cuts just right.
Oh no, yes, yeah.
They
This
have to
DJ, there's no dead air with this, for fuck's
they're
sake.
gonna have to wait till a little bit in Sandstorm where it's like the there's please
Can
help
you
me, this bloke's been bitten.
imagine
But
getting eaten alive by
unfortunately,
sharks, but also like you can kind of hear the Venga Boys as well at the same time?
boom, 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 boom.
But yeah, I mean, what a. I mean, it is literally those three songs. Name another one.
We're going to Ibiza.
Yeah. As someone who saw the Venga Boys live mere days ago, I didn't see. I only heard because I couldn't get into the tent. They did a
Because there
bloody.
were so many.
They did a bloody mega mix.
Did
They
they?
didn't have enough songs.
Up
They
and
had those.
down.
They had those four songs, and then they did a mega mix with like "Living on a Prayer," basically all of those type of songs, like the sing along songs. I was like, "Bloody Venga Boys, 30-minute set as well." Come on now. Come on now. That Venga bus, you basically the same experience of watching them live is
Well,
getting on that Venga bus. Venga
there you
boat.
go. That's not for whom the Venga bus comes, Ben. Um,
um,
yeah, so Heather eats shit, unfortunately, at this point.
yeah. It is
Um,
unfortunate as well because there was something up. Doesn't she say like this always gets me in films like this when someone's gonna die when they say they want their mum. It's always a
yeah,
bit of a
because didn't they have a conversation like her
Let's
mom
talk
wanted
about
to
a mum a bit.
it's what her mom has said, oh, it's not against the plan coming to Australia and having a lovely holiday.
yeah.
Her mom would always say that's not the plan. You're going to go straight to law school. And Zephyr says, "Is that your buddy mom's plan or yours? It's your life. Remember,
It's your
Heather."
life, all right. And what you want to do is get eaten alive by sharks, right? No.
Yeah, like
Well,
just think about this for when you definitely get out of this situation to do something about it. Doesn't Zephyr like scratch Heather's name in the paintwork
yeah.
Oh, she
of the
does, yeah.
captain's quarters where she lives?
And the captain's
Um,
quarters where she lives, and the lovely bucket, which is the
toilet seat
facilities,
bucket.
toilet seat bucket. Um, So
Mm.
yeah, I think it's pretty much revealed immediately that Tucker's been doing this for a long time and he's had a lot of victims because we see him was he dancing?
In the paint as well, isn't there? There's patches of the paint, and she starts scratching off the paint, and his name's underneath.
Yeah, so there's lots of people and then he's got a lock of Heather's hair which he like sellotapes in. Does he sellotape? I get maybe.
No,
Sellotapes
he
onto
like
the.
makes it almost into like a fishing lure, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Oh yes,
But
he does. He
like
makes it
wraps
into a little
it in on a hook
fishing.
on
puts it
it, and
in
then he
the
puts it in the sleeve of the
in the
VHS.
spine of the video and then he puts it back in the cupboard and there's bloody loads of them. He's
It's like the creep tapes in there.
right. Excuse me, we're looking for all these murders. Is there any evidence around? No. What's in this
No.
cupboard? Oh,
Oh,
brilliant!
just my video collection. Oh,
You've labelled
dead
it all for
format,
us
mate. It's
as well.
boring.
Also, he can get more than one death on one tape, can't he? He does know that.
Yeah, without even going on to long play, the videos are only a couple of minutes long.
Yeah. Write all their names down the side. No, no, I want one per tape. One per tape. Oh, useless.
Maybe he does like Heather, and then afterwards he's got like the footy or something like that. He's got Heather slash St Kilda versus Sydney
Heather
Lions.
slash the Italian job.
Or
Michael
maybe
Yeah.
Caine version.
maybe he puts bloopers on there. So he's got like the main footage, but then he's also got a couple of bloopers. So there's bits where he's like trying to set up the camera, he trips over a wire, he's like, oh bloody hell. And he goes, that'll go on the blooper reel.
On the for real.
So you can
And when he
watch.
gets his lines
Is
wrong,
he?
like when he fucks up his shark facts that he does.
Yeah.
So, did you
Oh,
know
yeah.
that the shark is
Is he?
that's wrong?
Oh, damn. Is he getting sexual gratification from watching these videos back, or is he just getting a? What kind of kick is he getting from this? Do we know?
Everyone needs a hobby, don't they?
Yeah, I guess so. But what's he? Because he's watching when he watches these tapes, it's very intense. It's like a dad when he watches a snooker.
It's like lots of adult men when they watch the football though. They'll be like, "Come on."
The
And
problem
women,
with
of
Arsenal is they're
course.
just trying to walk it in,
Yeah.
shouting at players who are actual athletes, going, "You fucking useless twat."
Is it worse when you shout at players not when it's even live, but when it's recorded?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm shouting at this player for not doing what I wanted to, even though this
A
happened in
match
the
of the day,
past.
even though he can't hear me. Bloody hell!
Imagine Thierry Henry one day just like, what?
Excuse
Hang
me?
on. Gavin from Dartmouth wants me to pass.
TT. So Tucker's been doing this for a while. He's been doing it to loads of tourists. No one's got onto him yet, though. He's getting away with it so far. The next day, Zephyr's van is towed away, and Moses sees it happen, and now he's even more suspicious. He begins to start looking for her. He goes. What does he watch? Like, oh yeah, he
He
watches that
goes
thing
and
on his
sees the
phone.
polis, and they go, "Soz, mate."
And he watched that thing on his phone first to say, oh no, that's not yet, is it? He goes to the
It's
polis
after he
first.
goes to see the polis, then they said, "Listen, mate, like, there's nothing you can do, and also you're not a family. You just met her for a day. Get over it."
What's this person's name? Zephyr. Do you know their surname? No. Well, cross-reference the van registration number, and then her name's Zephyr. That's not like super bloody
Yeah,
common,
sorry,
is
can't
it?
help you.
Ah, sorry, we just can't help you. He looks at a thing
Or
on his
look
phone
at
as
look
well,
at
doesn't he?
people who are in on a tourist visa and say, right, how many
Yeah.
Zephyrs have you got in? You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. There's at least 12, and they're all here on the Gold Coast.
They all look exactly like this. Look at them.
He
So I've
watched.
slept with her and I can't see this side by side. They all look exactly like this.
He watches a thing on his phone as well, which is like that surfers use to see what the waves are like, I guess. And he he rewinds it, sorry, and he sees like Zephyr's truck arriving, but he sees a mysterious pickup truck driving away, and he zooms in on it, and looks at the logo. When he zooms in on it, it's like X-Files Enhance, where he
Zoom and enhance. This
zoom in.
free webcam that you can use.
This free webcam that you can use. This is 4K. Yeah, look at all the megapixels in that, mate. So yeah, he's getting somewhere. The next day, Zephyr. How does she get out of the room? And this time, she gets out of the room this time. Um,
Hmm.
it just says she manages to escape the room.
Is that when she does like the hand thing? That's not
Did she
yet,
do
is
it?
it?
Did she break a thumb at this?
Oh
on
yeah,
this
well,
one?
she
I
doesn't
thought
just break her thumb; she breaks her hand and bites her thumb off
off, doesn't she? Bites it clean off.
like an absolute bloody animal.
I don't think that's yet
I
though.
don't
'Cause
think that's yet.
after the
I think
That's a bit
she.
later.
after Moses is there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this
Oh,
time
is this
she
when she? This is when he comes in and he goes, right, have this injection to make you go to sleep, and she bonks him on the
stabs him.
head.
She stabs him, doesn't she?
She bonks him on the head and stabs him. Oh yes, she does. She breaks. What does she break to
The
stab him with?
bucket. She uses a
bucket.
bit of the bucket handle.
Handle of the bucket, yeah. She
Yeah,
snaps
she
it.
stabs him.
Okay.
How does she get out though? Because does he
Gets
take
his
the thing off
keys.
of her?
Because
Gets his
he's
keys.
temporarily knocked out because she stabs him and he bonks his head on the bed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And
he's
that is
knocked
when
out.
runs up on deck. They have a bit of a scuffle. That's when she throws his camera overboard.
You'd have punched him to custard, wouldn't you, while he was knocked out?
Oh God, you would. You just stomp on his head like in Drive in that bit in the lift.
Yeah.
Just smash his skull in just like that, bare feet as well. It'd be great.
Yeah, literally, yeah, absolutely finish him off. Give him some extra stabs with that knife.
Yeah.
Because his defense is on 0 right now when he's knocked out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He comes around quite quickly though, like a Metal Gear Solid genome soldier. Just immediately wakes up.
What was that noise? He
Huh?
was looking for it.
Huh? What was that noise? And I can't remember. He just recaptures her, doesn't he, and puts her back. And
He goes, don't drop me camera in this scene. She goes, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna.
How does
Yeah.
he get out of that room? Doesn't he like punch a hole in the wall? He does something mad.
I think
Because
he
she
just
locks
knows
the door.
he knows how to get out. So he's got like a what is it? A screwdriver, and he
Yeah, that's
undoes
right.
something.
Yeah, it's got like a little metal panel that he unscrews.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. So he's obviously, the thing is, like, he's been doing this for so long. He's probably thought of every eventuality
He
of
built
like
this boat,
somebody
he knows.
escaping, like what would happen. He returns to land, docks his boat before he goes to
Go to the video shops.
the video shop. I mean, he goes to like some sort of big thrift warehouse, and luckily finds
Goes to radio rentals.
he goes to Radio Rentals, and luckily finds exactly the
Get
video
yourself
camera he
down
needs.
Rumbelows.
Get yourself down, Rumble. Someone's staring at him as well, like going, "What's he doing? What are you fucking looking at, you bitch?"
People think he's the weirdest because he's buying a
Yeah.
video camera that uses actual videos.
I need it because I've got to watch all my episodes of Super Ted. I'm absolutely gasping to know what happens with Super Ted and what was his mate? Spotty.
The Spottyman.
The Spotty. What was he? What was Spotty?
Just an alien who's from a
Just an
race
alien
of spotty
man.
people.
I was always confused by him.
And his enemies, of course, Texas Pete, a man
Oh,
from
yeah.
Texas, Bulk, a fat man, and,
Skull?
and a skeleton.
Called
Vulcan skeleton.
Bulk and bloody skeleton. So I think it's now that Moses does the CCTV thing, notices the logo, and because he goes to the boat while it's moored up, and so again, this is good because the tension's high because we know we're on a timer. Here, I think that's good. I like bits like this. So you're like, bloody get on with it.
Oh yeah,
Get
because
yourself in there.
he has a quick listen and goes, "Is that someone thumping about down there?"
What if
Yeah,
she was
goes with
silent?
his ear to the ground,
What if
isn't
she was
he?
just like, I'm gonna have a sleep? But I guess she knows she's moored up, so she knows that she needs
But he
to make some
doesn't call the
noise.
police. He goes, "I'll investigate this myself. Thank you very much."
Yeah. I think he does go to. He finds her first, and then he think. Oh, she tells him to call the police. I can't remember what they say. They say something like,
She's call the bloody police. He goes,
"Call
"All
the
right,
bloody
I
police."
will."
He's like, "You stitched me up. You left me when I made you a lovely bit of brekkie." And she's like, "Now's not the fucking time. Call the police."
I've been
Calls the
captured.
police. Calls the police, but as he does so, literally, before he's about to say a word, Tucker returns, attacks him. I think he gives him a throat punch. They both have a fight, but I think Moses gets the best of him, like for the most part.
He
He's
is
like,
getting the best of him, and he's got him captured when his mate comes in, and
The mate and the dog come back in, don't they?
yeah,
His
his
mate
mate,
sees the girl, the thing, and was like, "What have you done?"
his
yeah.
You
So
mate
he
date.
basically
I
after
definitely
he's knocked
thought he
out
was going to have
Moses.
a little bit of a idea of what Tucker was
I
doing.
thought maybe he was going to be in on it, like maybe he was going to be like paying him
Yeah,
He'd
off
be
or
like,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I
the
thought
fact
that,
that
but he
he was
clearly didn't.
genuinely
He gets their mobile
not.
phone SIM cards or something, but he doesn't. He was just an idiot man who didn't
Just an
know.
idiot bloke, yeah, just an ignorant bloke.
And he was like,
Um,
"Have you got a woman tied up down there?" And he goes, "Get an axe in the head."
oh yeah, he axes him. I must ask you a question, Dead. Um, and then Tucker basically drives the boat back out into the ocean, and now he's keeping Moses, which is unlike him, isn't it? This isn't common for him, keeping
Yeah,
him
he's
captured as well.
but I guess he needs to cover his tracks, and he already has done a murder. I'm assuming he just, because he's not a bad, he just lets the dog off and says, "Go on, you little scamp, go home."
Oh, I think he shouts it, doesn't he? He shouts it, runs away because it is barking at him loads throughout this film, and I think at
Yeah.
this point he goes,
Oh,
"Rah!"
he shouts it. He doesn't kill the dog
No,
though,
no, no.
so he's
No.
redeemable still.
He
He can
shouts
still
it.
turn it around.
He can still turn it around, yeah. So he drives out, drives the boat out, and he looks on a map to some sort of like islands or something like that, some sort of little area, and he goes, "We're gonna have a matinee performance,"
Yeah,
which I
he's
was
looking
like,
for like escape from public scrutiny island is where he
"Escape
goes
from
to.
Public Scrutiny Island, nice." And then
No one goes here archipelago.
lovely. That's exactly what we want. He puts Moses in the harness and makes Zephyr watch lower him into the ocean for the second shark murder of the
But
movie.
unlike bloody know it all Heather, Moses actually listens when she says, "Don't kick about," and he goes, "I won't."
I'll go in completely still. I'll go in like Drax, completely still. No one even
Yeah.
see me moving.
He goes in there and says, "I'm going to go in there and be as least delicious as possible."
Yeah, I taste like shit, mate. Don't come near me.
He just goes in there pulling like ugly faces. He goes, "Oh, gross."
He's horrible. It's pretty scary, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
scary. But yeah, so it works. He gets unharmed by the sharks. So Tucker pulls him
He's like,
in.
oh, Tucker's like, "This is boring. I'm not going to
This
watch this
is
one back."
dead boring. But it's cheating, really, and this is cheating. This is when I go, Tucker, come on, mate. You're having a beast here. You're a cheating bastard. No, he doesn't stab him once. He stabs him a few times in the stomach and then puts him back out. Like, oh yeah, oh the sharks didn't want to eat him, did they? Well, what if he's absolutely pissing with blood?
Yeah. "I'll give you a stabbing,"
But
and
then
puts like Old Bay seasoning on him to make him taste nicer.
lovely. But then a lifeguard helicopter passes by, so he has to. Oh, come on, then get yourself inside, Moses. And I was surprised at this point. I thought maybe Moses was just going to be Zephyr was going to wake up and Moses is going to be dead. He's going to have bled out, but he's still going. Somehow he's still kicking, which is a bloody miracle, isn't it? So Tucker's like waiting for the coast to be clear, and this is when Zephyr makes another escape attempt, which is
Bites a
the
thumb
biting off
off.
the thumb. This could you do this?
No.
No. I mean, I know you'd be absolutely desperate, but this is insane. It's like 127 hours level. I mean, not as bad as that because he cuts off his own bloody arm, doesn't he? But I feel like I'll be able to get my hand out,
You'd be slimming
ravaged.
down, obviously. You've only eaten one Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah, I'll be able to get my hand out, but it'd be ravaged rather than bite my thumb off.
Yeah.
And she even leaves the thumb on like a piece of on like the pillow, like as if to say,
Oh yeah.
I'll be back
Yeah.
for this later.
as soon as I see anything with like a degloving situation, it really, really makes me cringe. Like I'm actually just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just no.
It's that and the grater in Evil Dead Rise. Things you can imagine
Oh yeah.
happening, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
degloving those unnecessary, but
Speaking of a degloving, would you like a real life horror story? Doesn't
Oh
involve me. It
God. It's
involves
not a real life degloving, is it?
I would argue maybe slightly worse. And this
Oh
is why
God.
a friend of ours. This is why he doesn't wear a wedding ring. He is, or it was a friend of the guy that Karen's parents know. He is an electrician, and he was up on a ladder fixing a light fitting. He slipped off the ladder and just, it wasn't a very high ladder. It was just in a living room, so just within the floors of one thing. Fell off his little step ladder, came down to the floor, and he was like, "Whoa, that was a close one." There was a big string going up because his wedding ring had got caught on the light fixture, and it had basically separated his finger from the thing. His finger was there, and there was a tendon stretching down to him at ground
Oh
level,
Jesus.
still attached to his hand. That is why he no longer wears a wedding ring
What?
when he is
I mean,
working.
what do you do? What would you do in that instance? Just
Die.
just die. Because you could be like, I can't go anywhere. I can't do
did he
anything.
I think
have
there
to
was
like
someone else there.
did he separate or did he like kind of
I
wind
have
it back
no idea.
in?
They
Like
reattached his finger.
click the
They
finger
reattached
and
his finger.
They
Jeez.
reattached his finger. I guess it'd be like, oh, I'll phone 999, but the phone's in the kitchen. Don't worry.
Oh Jesus.
Go
Pinged it out.
gadget finger, like
Yeah. That
see
is
how far you can
that
go.
is a real life horror. Thanks for that, Andy. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely made
Thought I'd
me
upset you also. Yeah, degloving and that. Horrible.
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and but like biting off your own thumb as well, like that's
Yeah.
another level. That's
Would
Yeah.
you
gross.
get any thumb? Would you not bite off your little finger?
I don't know
Stick
if
your
that
thumb
would
in, can't
work.
you?
I don't know if that would really work, would it? I
If
think
you
it
took your
would
thumb off because it would take like that much
a
of the width,
whole section of your
wouldn't it?
hand off.
You know, put
Yeah.
your thumb in though, like this.
Yeah.
No. Have you bit your thumb off there? Bloody hell.
Oh,
Bloody
Careful now.
hell.
gone.
That's wild. I don't
That is wild.
think I could go there.
No.
Yeah, she does though. Unfortunately, she does get a bum full of sleeping drug
Oh
from
yeah,
trouble in
she
the
gets a
scuffle.
bit of sleeping drugs, so she's like running away, but while falling asleep. I'm so bored of this running away. I'm falling
As she's
asleep.
running away, like all the things that, like the computer console where she phone starts looking like a pillow. The chairs will start looking like beds.
She gets big old Zeds in her eyes.
Yeah,
All right.
when
Everyone's
she turns
sleeping.
around and sees Tucker chasing after her, he's got like a nightcap on and like a little candle.
He's running on a little cloud.
The knife he's holding is a mug of cocoa.
She jumps into the water, attempting to swim to shore, where there's a wedding reception taking place. Well, I don't know why he's done it so close to that. He's coming in for the entertainment on the late night. He's got a big old light, and he's like,
Yeah.
right, that's it, big old light, and he's gonna shoot her with the. Is it like a little harpoon thing? He's gonna get her with?
Yeah, he's gonna harpoon her.
Yeah.
He chases the light and then puts in the crippler crossface on the beach and
Oh
knocks her
yeah.
out.
Well, this is horrible, isn't it? Because this is like, oh my God, she's escaped. All she needs to do is literally yell out, and it's just like she's taking a breath in to yell. Hand goes over her mouth. Oh, and then
You'd bite his
he
fingers, wouldn't you? Bearing in mind, you have proven
You can bite
moments ago
fingers.
that you've got the power to bite fingers off.
Bite a finger off, yeah.
I mean, you would, yeah. He puts her in the crippler crossface / Taz mission, chokes her out.
The Taz mission, that's the one.
That's the way it's like the Taz mission, isn't it? Chokes her out and takes her back to the boat. Oh my God, that is. Stuff like this is just so agonizing, isn't it? Like
You
any
know what
film where
holiday weddings are like, though. There'd have been someone out on a walk with someone or gone out for a tab.
There would have
There's
been
no
someone get-
way.
there would have been
Or
someone
just
getting
a
knocked.
girl just like being sick on her own, just kind of going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there would have been someone getting
on the
noshed
floor
off.
looking sad.
Yeah,
There would have been someone getting noshed off, sat on the bloody sunbed.
they would absolutely. A wedding.
They go. I think someone's getting. Oh no, don't. Can't concentrate.
Oh,
sorry.
no. Thing is, if we report this kidnapping we've just seen, we're gonna have to reveal to the police what we were doing, and we are cousins. Oh no!
Oh my God. What were you doing? Just chilling. We were just
Having a
chilling.
vape.
It's fine. That's having a bloody vape. Oh, I see. That's
Oh no,
worse.
that's more embarrassing. Yeah, I
That's
was
more
knocking off my cousin.
embarrassing.
Having a vape. Come
That's more
on.
embarrassing. So yeah, he gets her and then takes her back to the boat, and then she and Moses awake on deck. A miracle that Moses is still going at this point, right? A miracle.
How many times could you wake up from being in a drugged state and be in like a shark dunking chair and still be surprised by it? I'd be like, all right, here again. Hello.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've had a guts for this. Just put me out
Listen,
my
the
misery,
last
isn't it? Yeah.
80% of the last few times I've woken up, I've been in this chair. I can't be surprised by it
Yeah.
anymore. I'd be more surprised if I was just in bed.
Yeah, you go, ah, in bed. So now Zephyr is in the harness. Moses is on deck. Zephyr gets lowered into the water, and a a bloody massive great white shark arrives.
All the other
Which
sharks scarp her like
they all
Scooby-Doo.
scarp her. It starts prowling the area. Tucker's absolutely loving it. This is what he's been waiting for. This is like the piece de resistance. I was going to say that, but I butchered it. What does Zephyr do? She kind of like climbs up the thing, uses. Oh yeah, she manages to get hold of his little poking stick.
Oh yeah, that's
He
it.
drops it in the water, and she uses it to kind of like hook
Yeah.
herself up and pull herself
Poke
up,
herself free.
hook herself free. So she falls into the She falls from the harness into the water, and that's where she comes face to face with the great white shark. And she says, "I'm a goodie. Don't do me in. I'm the main star of this film. Don't eat me." And the shark says, "Fair shout." And I think you said this, Charlie, didn't you? There's supposed to be like common ground between Zephyr and the shark. Why? What did you say?
So I think it's he tries to spin it, doesn't he? And he's like, "Oh, me and you we're the same. We are the shark." So I think when he's saying that, and she's going, "I'm nothing like you," I think then when it's that bit and the shark gives her a free pass, it's trying to show that she's like the shark, but Tucker's not. He's
Tucker's
just
not, yeah.
delusional.
He's
So
a
she's
header.
like the shark, like a sort of a lone creature that it's just
Whereas he's just a psychopath
yeah.
who thinks he's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
deeper than he is. Yeah. So that's what I think that was trying to
Me and the shark are
signify.
bloody best mates.
That being a
Like
shark
she
is
gets,
the
she jumps in the water and says, "Oh no, don't do that, Bruce." And he goes, "Why did you say that name?" And he goes, "Oh,
Why did you say that name? My favorite film is Jaws. And I love Bruce Springsteen actually as well. Yeah,
And
my number one artist.
the boss.
The
I'll
boss,
let you go then."
the big boss.
And then says, "Yeah, I'll let you go because of our common ground that we've just found at this pivotal moment."
Maybe I was born to run. This swims off.
Roy Orbison, that's it. She goes, "I don't believe I got caught in my van after I drove all night." And he goes, "Roy Orbison? So should we sing one of his songs?" Unfortunately, he died in 1955 and we've been unable to get.
Yeah, we got a license.
Not 1955. I did look this up.
Zephyr climbs back.
1988.
Okay, a little bit later than that.
1988.
Off.
He said, but still no good for a 2025 film.
No.
But because they both love Roy Orbison, they bond on it, and he goes, "Right, I'll let you back on this boat then, but I'll be distracting enough so he won't hear you."
Yeah, Zephyr goes like around the back of the boat, climbs back on board, doesn't she? As she gets on, she again has a final confrontation with Tucker where she shoots him with a harpoon, and he falls into the ocean.
Do you
And
like a little quote?
Oh yeah, what did she say? What is the song? I can't remember what the song is. Oogie boogie boy,
Doobie, fuck you.
doobie doobie. Yeah, she says that,
Doobie.
and I'm like, that's an in joke between you and Moses. Tucker's not gonna have any bloody.
He'd be
clue.
so confused about what?
Excuse me? Did I
The
say
last
that?
words he hear is literally gobbledygook, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
He'd be like,
And
"Oh no, I've had a stroke. Please call an ambulance."
and this shot of the shark eating him is like that shark eating a seal shot, which is on like some sort of nature documentary.
Yeah,
and
Air
it was
Jaws.
leaping out of the thing. Air Jaws is exactly like that. And yes, it is terrifying. But I'm almost like that shark 2 seconds ago was like got absolutely no interest in eating anyone, and now he's like fucking have it straight out the water, slam dunks him.
Maybe does she like maybe in shark language, which we've established she speaks, she Billy Goat gruffs him and says,
Yeah,
"Don't eat me. I am just a skinny person with one missing thumb." There's a big
There's a
meaty
big,
man up there.
stinky bloke up there.
I'll harpoon him and send him in. He goes,
And
all right,
what
then.
face is he making as he gets eaten as well? He's definitely making a face. There's definitely like a weird superimposed face on this body where he's like, ah, I've been killed. He falls in the ocean, devoured by the shark. Zephyr signals a passing boat, the Venga boat, for help.
Passes the Venga boat. And they just think they're getting on. Hey, they've got fireworks over there. Start...
Hey!
Who's on
Turn
tonight?
the music up
Scooter.
louder and go the other way. And that's the end. They both live. A miracle.
Well, they love each other now, by the way.
I was like, Moses is going to die. What did you say?
They love each other now. That's actually stops him from dying. She goes, don't die. I love you. And he goes, oh, love the power of one wish. Like Pikachu's tears returning ash from that time he got turned to
He goes, I love...
He was
I
like...
love... She
like
goes,
the hot
I love
breath
you.
of Aslan. He's restored to life.
The dark magic. She says, I love you. And Moses says, that's a bit much, actually. A bit too far. I'm into you, but I'm not into you that much. So you've put me off now.
She goes, we could have probably stuck together if only you'd made me pancakes. And he's like,
I did make you pancakes. I made you an whole bloody tower of them, but you fucked off. You fucked off because you love surfing more than you love my penis.
And Zephyr signals a passing boat after she and Moses affirm a future together. What a formal way to put it in this summary.
Want to affirm a future together? Indeed.
I concur.
The
Sign
end.
here.
The end. That's the end of Dangerous Animals. Let's try a bit of name game, no matter how hard it is. And I apologise for all of the ones I've written down. I don't know
if we
how
run dry
to
on
explain
this.
this.
I've prepared some dangerous animal facts, a shark quiz for you, just
yeah,
in case
do that,
you needed it.
Do that. That's better. Unless your name game's better.
I've got nothing because
there we
nothing
go.
rhymes
Let's do
with that
animal
particular
facts.
combination.
If you do animal facts quiz, I'll give you a couple of bits of trivia before if you want to prepare that.
Give us a bit of trivia, and I've got
this is
some
director Sean Byrne's first film in 10 years. What do you know what the film he made before this was?
The Shallows.
Nope. Nothing to do with sharks.
Loved Ones, wasn't it? Loved Ones?
Nope. In 2015 he made The Devil's Candy.
The Devil's Candy.
Yep. Is that horror enough to do on the show, do you reckon?
I can't think of The Devil's Candy. I'm thinking of Hard Candy, which is where Elliot Page kills horrible nuns.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Woman.
So Devil's Candy is something different. Sorry, I thought it was being all interested. Then
Hard
I don't know
Candy
what
we could do, I think.
A fin key is not a real key, though it resembles a car key. It's a small Allen wrench screwdriver and is a tool used to tighten the screws which attach the fins to a surfboard. Bloody hell, there we go.
Charlie knows that. Surfing Charlie Green Dog over there.
Yeah.
Old Fido Dido, cool spot herself.
Yeah. Do you know? So Tucker guesses that Heather is a pom when he hears her speak, which is of course Australian slang for British person. But do you know why?
No, I don't.
No, Charlie. Do you know why Australians call British people poms? It's short for pomegranate, which is because British people call pomegranates because they turn red in the sun, as pomegranates also do.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
That would have been better than I guess because pom is French for apple, and we know we fight with France.
I always thought it was something like that. But also, there was a TV show, like a kids' TV show, in the 80s or the 90s, and there was a character in that called the Whinging Pom.
The Whinging Pom on ITV in the same era of programs like Grady Greenspace used to be on.
The Whinging Pom. Why do you make a bloody TV show about you, Charlie?
I can't believe you just mentioned Grady Greenspace.
Greenspace.
That was my literal personality for years.
I don't even know what this is. Was it Grady what?
It's a program with horrible puppets and then sometimes real animals.
Oh, this looks horrific.
It's about a valley beset by crime.
Yeah, the crime's the rats, isn't it, that live in like the tip. There's like one
rats that live in the tip, and their allies are like a big eagle. And
he flies a bat. He flies a bat, doesn't he, Grady Greenspace?
Yeah, Grady Greenspace is like a detective, horrible mouse detective.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this. It was on TV from 1992 to 1993. It was your whole personality, Charlie. I've never mentioned it before.
I loved Grady Greenspace.
Good theme music, I'll give it that.
The Whinging Pom.
And Oh, there's a real Romeo and Juliet story about it because I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, how do I remember so much of this? The baddie, who's called Scuzzy, he
Yes.
has a sister called something like Rhonda, who's actually a goodie. And
Yeah, yeah, and
isn't
that's
she
who
Grady
Grady meets up with.
Greenspace's love interest?
Yeah, yeah.
What channel was
Radar is the
what channel
bat.
was this on?
Radar is the bat. Yeah.
ITV.
Okay.
ITV sort of pre-swimming lesson and Steve Priestley's movie,
And
post Steve Priestley's movies, games, and videos before
Okay.
Catchphrase and Gladiators.
I think I
and
was
Grady
more of a
Greenspace, didn't he live in a like a church spire or something? He lived in the attic of a church or something.
Grady Greenspace.
Jesus.
We'll be posting some threads about this later, Charlie, before this episode comes
It's
out.
Yeah.
one of those things that until you either remember it or hear it, you forget it exists. And it's like you've just unlocked a can of worms in my brain.
Charlie's next tattoo, a Grady Greenspace.
Grady Greenspace sleeve, Charlie, you have to get.
Oh yeah.
Right. How's this? What about this quiz then, Andy?
Right, I got some questions for you. So,
Okay.
um, Damien Hirst, famously in his Formaldehyde series,
Oh yeah.
one of his pieces of that was a tiger shark in the piece entitled "The Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living." What breed of shark was it that was imprisoned in formaldehyde?
Ooh,
Tiger Shark.
It was a tiger shark, Ben. Very good.
well done.
Oh yeah, you might have all the Grady Greenspace shit, but I know my Damien Hirst.
He knows his, he knows his Damien Hirst. For a bonus point, Ben, what year did he begin that series of sculptures?
1997.
1991.
Oh, I see. I see.
Um, I'll give you another 2-pointer, shall I? Um, I would like to know the actor portraying this character and the film that they appear in. The actor's name, it's a shark film, obviously, is Sherman Preach Dudley. Preach is his nickname.
Sherman Preach Dudley.
In what film would you see
Preach.
Sherman, inverted commas because it's a nickname, Preach Dudley face off against some sharks?
Is it like someone who used to be a preacher? Or
That's
is it
the
a preacher?
character's name. Maybe they used to be a
Oh.
preacher. They might do some preaching in it.
Is it what's his name from The Meg? Jason Statham?
It's not Jason Statham from The Meg.
Ah.
Someone in Deep Blue Sea.
It is from Deep Blue Sea. 1 point
Thomas
for you,
Jane?
Charlie.
LL Cool J's
And of
character.
course, it's
Oh,
Ladies Love Cool James.
obviously. Yeah,
Obviously.
you sweep in and do that.
Take that one.
Bloody Grady Greenspace.
Okay. Another actual shark-based question for you now. According to records, what's the fastest shark in the ocean?
Fastest.
What's the fastest shark?
I mean, it doesn't really make sense, but Hammerhead.
It's not the hammerhead. You're frozen out, Ben. Charlie, have you got a guess?
Like a little one, maybe like a reef shark. Shark, is that what it's called? Like a
Not
little.
a reef shark. It is a mako shark.
They got really sharp teeth, those ones.
Yeah, I think so. It's a sleek predator that can cruise at around 30 miles. Cruise at 30 miles an hour.
He's
and has
just
been
cruising,
clocked
mate.
in short bursts at speed of 46 miles an hour for those of us using metric. That's 74 kilometers.
Bloody hell, that's a speedy one,
Some
isn't it?
anecdotal reports even suggest it can reach 50 or 60 mph.
Wow.
There you go. I've got the big one, the grand finale for our little quiz tonight. And I think we're in good company with our Grady Greenspace mentions. In the era of extreme sport mutant animals following the turtles, we of course had the street sharks. The original street sharks. There were 4 of them. Give you a point for any of them you could name.
Oh God.
I don't think I've ever heard of the street sharks.
Yeah.
They skateboard.
I
They
can
fight
picture
crime.
Are their names human names?
No.
Are their names shark names?
I guess as far as shark names go, yes.
Are their names just like words that were probably popular in the 90s? Like,
Yes.
is one of them called? Gee, it's just one
So,
word.
rather than have you throw random sounds in the dark, I'm going to tell you there are four brothers in Street Sharks. I won't get
Right.
you to mention their enemies like Mon Calamari, the big squid.
Oh yeah.
But there are four main dudes in Street Sharks. Each of them based on a different variety of shark. I'll give you a point if you can tell me what
Okay.
breed of shark they're named
There's
after.
going to be a tiger one.
Not necessarily going to do it in order. So
There's
first,
obviously
I'm gonna tell you, Jab. He is the short-tempered one. He's the Raphael of the bunch.
hammerhead.
He's a hammerhead. Very good, Ben. How about Slamu? He's the strongest of the group.
Jesus. The strongest is going to be like a whale shark.
He is a whale shark. You've done your 90s marketing, Ben.
Oh.
Yes.
Next, how about Ripster? He's the Leonardo. He's the oldest and the leader.
Tiger.
I'm afraid not. Charley, I guess.
Just a great white shark.
He's a great white shark.
Oh,
That
Classic.
leaves us, of course, with Streaks, the Michelangelo. He's a cool, thrill-seeking brother.
that is tiger, isn't it? I can
He's the
picture him.
tiger shark.
He's like a tigery color as well, right?
Yeah, I think he's like brown with like a
Yeah,
darker
yeah.
brown stripe.
Street Sharks, yeah, Street Shark was good. Biker Mice from Mars, Teenage Mutant
Yeah, I
Ninja
know
Turtles.
Biker
What
Mice.
times
Samurai
to be alive?
Pizza Cats.
New to me. Can't say I've heard of them.
Get yourself on YouTube for an episode of the Street Sharks. I believe it's coming back, and if you want a real treat, I believe there is a video of Vin Diesel advertising the Street Sharks toys.
Oh,
Has he got hair? I think I've seen that.
I think so, yeah.
He's got a barnet, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got his barnet. There we go then. That was fun.
Did you
go on.
enjoy that in place of any words that rhyme with the words dangerous animals?
Hell yeah.
oh yeah.
That was great. Dangerous Animals. Some of mine were piss poor, so I'm glad I didn't have to fumble around in the dark trying to give you a clue. Okay, so let's rate the film A to F. Pluses and minuses are allowed. Rate good or rate bad. Charley, how would you like to rate Dangerous Animals?
I'm gonna rate it. Difficult. Would you cast like a B minus being the same as a C plus?
No, I
I
count it as
mean-
being ever so slightly better.
Yeah, slightly better.
Okay.
There are some differences. I think, you treat these ratings slightly differently. When you do it week in, week out, you kind of, in my head, I know what a C plus is and a B plus is and a B minus.
I think it's like the tone in which you say it's fine. So like C plus is it's fine, but like a B minus is it's fine, it's good. Like it's slightly better.
Yeah. Great way
Whereas a
of
C
describing it.
minus is it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go a B minus then, I think. And I think a B is a good one because it feels a bit B movie like. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Not to be taken too seriously.
Jerry Seinfeld in it.
Just a bit of fun.
B movie. A bee falling in love with a lady. Chris the bee.
Yeah. Chris the B. But yeah, no, I think that's a good one. It's not a B, but it's not a C either. So
Yeah.
it's in the middle there somewhere. I had fun with it. I thought it was fun. The characters were likable. Like I think when you have a character like Zephyr, who they're trying to be like, oh, she's edgy and she's so independent and she's so cool and mysterious, they can end up being annoying or pretentious or they fall into that trap a lot. And I didn't really get that with her character. So I think for doing a good job, and just Jai Courtney was incredible in it. Like I loved his character. I just think he was absolutely bonkers, and
Good times.
good times indeed.
How
Yeah.
about you, Ben?
I was thinking B minus as well because I think, and originally I was a bit like, oh, that was really good. That probably was like a higher score. But I think the longer I've sat with it, the more I've kind of thought it was just all right. I mean, I think I'd watch it again. And, if there was a Dangerous Animals 2 for some reason or a prequel,
The first kill.
what did Tucker do when the first time? What happened? Let's see his life.
How
when
did he
got
start
bitten
his
by a shark
videos?
and he became a bloody serial killer man. So yeah, B minus, and I think it's mainly for that reason. Yeah, Zephyr's an engaging character, and you want her to survive, and the story at its heart is interesting. It's not just like a kind of like faceless person just waking up on a boat. We kind of get a little bit of backstory, so that's good. And yeah, Jai Courtney is good. He's very charismatic, but you kind of believe that he is capable of these things, and yeah, he's got the kind of frame as well, where you're like he's a bit of a big scary bloke as well, so you're like, oh,
Yeah.
He's got no chance. She's got no chance. If he gets his hand on her, he is going to Tasmission her until she
He's
passes
straight
out.
in the Tasmission, soon as
Straight
look
in
at
the
you.
Tasmission, exactly. So yeah, B-
A
for me.
plastic bag on your head. I might go slightly lower than you guys, but still a positive score. I'm going to give it a deep blue C, plus. I give it a deep blue C plus, mainly because I make a bold statement here. Is it really a shark movie though? There are sharks in
Yeah,
it,
there are
but it's
sharks in
not
it.
about. It's not necessarily about sharks. Sharks for this
No.
are basically his weapon as a serial killer, and it's a great performance that Jai Courtney puts in as this serial killer. But the sharks are kind of the background
Yeah.
to it. If this was a Sex and the City, the sharks are New York. They're kind of just there, right?
Bloody hell,
They're
mate.
happening.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't see
Yeah.
that analysis coming.
They're another. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm here for,
It
Ben.
needs
To
a
give
Jai
you.
Courtney voiceover, like basically playing what's her name, Karen.
It was about then when I first realized that.
It's about then that I first realized I love feeding people to sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
Do 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 do.
His character work in it is really good. He, in particular, puts in an absolutely bonza performance, and I'm
Nice word to
absolutely
use
here for
bonza
it.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. In the correct term, I would hope.
Mm.
But then maybe I wanted a little bit more out of some of the other things. I'd like a little bit more shark action, maybe something that involved the sharks a little bit more, maybe less kind of escape and come back. Maybe we could have had, a little something more with a little more involvement of the sharks, or to maybe have you trapped on a boat with a shark obsessed serial killer and you both having to survive because these things are indiscriminate and this guy is trying to use their behavior to get, then you have to know more about the sharks to him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I still liked it an awful lot and it was for the great performances and so on.
Mm.
I like a little bit more shark in something I can consider truly a shark movie. It's still fair enough, still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But would I maybe go to, when I want my shark serial killers, I would argue that this film is arguably worse. But Shark Night 3D has some insane serial killer shark interaction.
Have I seen that? I don't know.
It features a death with something, with a type of shark called the cookie cutter shark.
Oh.
Very good, very creative. And for those who love a gimmick, in 3D.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sold. I'm
Get that on the
absolutely
watch
sold.
list.
There we go
Along
then.
with Street Sharks. And of course, the big recommendation of the day. When the valley is the place, everybody, Grady is on the case. Get on there. Crack the case with him if you could.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Charlie. Where can our listeners find you online? We've mentioned your Instagram and your threads.
I'm afraid. So yeah, just Charlie Horror.
Is it Charlie _ horror?
Charlie might be _ horror.
Pretty sure it's _ horror.
That's pretty bad, isn't it? I'm
It's
sure
pretty
if you
bad.
just looked up
This is your
Charlie-
one chance to tell everyone, and you've messed it up.
Sure
We'll
if
put
you
it.
just looked up my name, Charlie.
We'll
and
put it in the show
you'll
notes
find it.
anyway, so it'll be there.
Yeah, but
So
I'm on
thank
there
you.
and always chatting some nonsense. So always happy to engage and chat more with people. So yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron over at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to our patrons over there. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Please consider giving us a rating or review. We are on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Horror Hangout Podcast or horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. Next week, we're discussing the big one is 28 years later. For some, for definitely for me, most anticipated horror of 2025. Looking forward to that. Let's do it.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to 28 years later. Unless geopolitics stops me, I will be away on my holidays next week. But Asher, who is due to join you, is
Yes.
excellent guest, I'm sure.
Absolutely. But be careful, when you are on your holidays, if anybody offers you a lovely little shark viewing trip in a cage, just be careful they ain't got a tiny little knife and they don't come at you and stab you in the neck.
Them first.
Stab them first, I say. He was unarmed. Well, you never know. I did just watch Dangerous Animals and I was,
he was
on the defense.
He was uncomfortably friendly to me, so unfortunately it had to be done.
I was convinced he was going to stab me in the neck. Be careful.
Yeah, baby shark. coming from his car. Really.
Yeah.
He was
You've
playing Baby
gotta
Shark
be-
coming from his car, and he's an adult man with no children. I did not trust him.
Yeah,
feel like
exactly. Not a
feel
court
like
in the
for
land
me
would
with
convict
the
you.
Baby Shark thing I'm going through, that it'd be like a sleeper cell thing. I'd hear Baby Shark and instantly just go into
You get
killing.
the Winter Soldiered.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens to the best of us.
Yeah, have to
Yeah.
push you in the sea and give you an incomprehensible song quote to confuse you. Ooby dooby fuck you. What? Oh, Ooby, just get in the sea.
There we go.
Right. See you next time, everybody.
See you later, everybody. Take care.
Take care now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.